English, good money. Alright. I think we good. Yeah. Yeah. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm joined by my co-host, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world, my brother, Santana. Say something to the people.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all here with us tonight. And for that, we thank you. And as always, we got a jam-packed show for y'all. So we're going to get right into it.
Y'all, I want to thank y'all for tuning in each and every twice a week, sometimes 3, 4, 5 times. Y'all know we do pop-ups here. We do pop-up. We ran up the pop-up on y'all, but we're on the road to 20,000 subs. We over 11,000 subs right now, so continue to like, subscribe, to share, to comment. Leave them comments, and engage in the chat. Quick shout outs to some of our day ones, badge holders in the building. Shout out to Treeman in the building. Shout out to King Prince in the building. Shout out to Winter Breeze in the building. Appreciate y'all tapping in. And yo, we got a fire show, so make sure y'all stay engaged in the chat as well. What else we got going? Also, thank you to the presenting sponsor of this podcast, Button Snaps. Again, Button Snaps, button hyphenated sign snaps.com, button hyphenated sign snaps.com, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure on $4.99. Again, that's buttonsnaps.com, button hyphenated sign snaps.com. Y'all already know, on to our first segment of the night, popular opinions. Y'all love to engage in popular opinions. Remember, y'all, these are not our questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. I always feel like every show I have to stress that, because we have rewatchable videos. We got over 350 rewatchable videos of this podcast on this channel. Every time I post them up, whether it's here, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, people always be like, y'all wrong. It's the world's question. So these are not our questions, but stick to the answers in the questions. Shout out to Jug in the building. Shout out to Jug from Florida, ex-promoter, one of our badge holders. He's a badge holder. Appreciate you, bruh, man. Appreciate you for tapping in and supporting the show. Man, y'all dope. All right, y'all. First question of the night. Which character of the French which character of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air original sitcom needs a spinoff? Which character of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air original sitcom needs a spinoff? Number 1, Ashley. Number 2, Nikki. Number 3, Carlton. Number 4, Hillary. Let us know what y'all think in the chat.
I'm going to say number 5, Jazz. That would be the only one I would want to see a spinoff. The rest of them, I would not want to see a spinoff for Carlson. Ashley, hell no. Hillary, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Jazz would be the best one, but unfortunately, he's not on the list. So I'm probably going to have to go with Hillary.
Hillary?
I probably have to see her escapades on how she going to run it up on as the weather girl. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I don't see what else would be interesting to see a spinoff. But she's the only one I choose from the original one.
From the original, right. So she can't find another Trevor? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it won't be interesting for me to watch if it ain't Jazz. You know what I'm saying? But you feel me? Because after Trevor died, you know what I'm saying, then her character wasn't interesting no more.
True. But she was still fine though, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? She still got to pull up though. Still looking real good. Real Yan malicious over there. You know what I'm saying? In the chat, they said Nikki. I mean, Nikki was the youngest, so I guess that would I get it. Shout out to CJ in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Ray Love. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to United Truth. Appreciate you tapping in. They saying Hillary in the chat. Uh, my bro said Hillary. Yeah, I gotta go with Carlton, bro. Like, yo, he just got too much Carlton in him, bro. Like the new improve from the original cast as a grown man. I just think Carlton, he's kind of like Kyrie Irving when it comes to his type of with his type of comedy. He got a comedic bag that just is bottomless in my opinion. No matter what he does, whether he's dancing, whether he's doing whatever, to me, Carlton is always funny, always interesting. He has a walk on the wild side. He do succumb to pressure from time to time. Bro took the perk 40. You know what I'm saying? Bro was feeling the type of way that his cousin got blasted, so he picked up a gat. You know what I'm saying? And then also when Will brought him around the hood, you know what I'm saying? He went to go get a couple burgers and the fries. He came back. Carlton was all gangsted out. He was running the new improved Dragons. You know what I'm saying? On Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So I'm gonna have to go with Carlton. Carlton got too much layers for me personally, pause. But I think Carlton, for me, I would like to see a spinoff of the original cast. So in the chat, I'm seeing all different types of answers in the chat. They talk about the Carlton. The Carlton dancer is timeless. You can't get no wrong with that. My bro went with Hillary. The chat went with Hillary. Some was feeling the Carlton, but mainly went with Hillary. The rest of the world at 36% went with Ashley. What do you think about that?
Ashley Banks. I mean, the middle child. Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's still fine. I mean, I've seen Tatiana Ali recently. She still look good. So I can see how the rest of the world would go with that answer. She was funny, but to me, she wasn't a main. I never seen her as like a main. You know what I'm saying? I always seen her on the side. I always thought Will and Carlton and the Butler, always built their comedy, and she was kind of like on the side cart. But hey, that's the rest of the world. So the rest of the world went with Ashley. All right, moving on to our next popular opinion question. And remember, y'all, these are not our questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. Raising Canaan, Power Book Raising Canaan question. Best character on Raising Canaan. Number one, Canaan. Number two, Raquel. Number three, Marvin. Number four, Unique. Let us know what y'all think in the chat.
Um, I'm probably gonna have to go with Marvin because he's the more developed character out of all of them. As far as from his story arc from the beginning of the season to now, you see a lot of development, a lot of growth as a character. You know what I'm saying? So I see a lot of that. And the actor who plays Marvin is pretty good as well too. So I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah, bro, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think his name is London or London Brown or Brown London. I believe so. He was in Ballers, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was good in Ballers as well as the best friend. But him as Marvin in Raising Canaan, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think you said it best. His arc from season one till now has been the most intriguing and hardcore dad, also a dad at home, and was raising his daughter to be hardcore without even realizing the effects that his street life had to do with his home life at home with his daughter. So I'm gonna go with Marvin as well. I think the Kanan role. I don't know, for some reason, the only thing that throws me off about this series is the New York City accent. I don't feel it don't feel like Queens. It don't feel like Brooklyn. It don't feel like Staten Island. It don't feel like Harlem. It don't the accents. Am I bugging when I say that, bro? To me, like the accents is a little forced on Kanan. Me personally, Rock is sexy. She's killing it. But I don't feel like her arc is bigger than Marvin. Pause. And so I'm going with Marvin as well. So I went with Marvin. My bro went with Marvin. In the chat, they said, "Well, we'll still stop." So Hollywood. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to United Truth in the building, man. Not familiar with that, but there's a race. Shout out to Ray Love. Ray Love is stupid. All right, so again, I went with Marvin. My bro went with Marvin. The consensus have been with Marvin, and 47%. The rest of the world went with Marvin. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very apparent. You see the growth of the character. You actually want the character to win, and you know what I'm saying. So I definitely understand and see that.
Hmm. And Marvin is in pretty, I don't want to say weird position, but all parents find themselves in a situation where when you're raising your children, your our mindset as parents is do as I say, not as I do. I don't care what I used to do, what I do. I want you to do better. And that type of conflict is also like real life, where kids easily look at the mistakes that you've made and all the things that's going on, and they don't see it as a mistake. They see it as you living your life. But as the parent, you want better for them. So it's great to see that dynamic in a show like that that needs those type of layers for that show to continue to grow and move forward. So shout out to, I believe it's London Brown, if I'm not mistaken, the actor that plays Marvin. Dope job. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Hollywood need to ask us. We came up with this segment because Hollywood just running out of ideas. They giving us movies we didn't even ask for. No intrigue, no creativity. Me and my bro got better movie ideas for, said it, movies or TV series or shows. You want to start this one off?
Yeah, Hollywood need to make a movie about Hollywood. Why is Hollywood Hollywood? Why did y'all choose California? Who chose California to be Hollywood? Why did y'all choose the area to put the sign Hollywood there? Like all of these questions, like why? You know what I'm saying? Who decided in whatever time they decided to go to California, like, we gonna put Universal Studios right here. You know what I'm saying? What was there before y'all put it there? You know what I'm saying? Why do y'all call it Hollywood? You feel? Why do y'all do the things y'all do in Hollywood to get ahead? So I want a series. I want to see a series about all the goofiness y'all be doing and try to make it seem like it's something to get y'all ahead when it's really not. You know what I'm saying? So I really want y'all gotta really open up the books, Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta start opening up the books and start being real about what's going on in these studios and stop playing. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
Because y'all really the ones that create um sometimes the way society thinks through the mediums that y'all use. So I want to know, why did y'all choose Hollywood to be Hollywood, right? Why
Hmm.
did y'all choose um that what's that movie theater that they always use to do their premiere movies or whatever. It's like right on the Hollywood strip, right? So why
Hmm.
did y'all choose that area to be the epicenter of Hollywood executive lore, but then right across the street is homelessness? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Hmm.
how does that go together? How do
Hmm.
y'all put Hollywood stars on the street, but move the homeless people out the way so y'all can put the stars on the street? Like, how do y'all sleep at night doing that? You know what I'm saying? So I really want to see y'all mentality. I really want to see a documentary about that. Like, really sit down with these top behind the scenes cats. You know what I'm saying? That we don't even know nothing about. So I want to see that. Hollywood's time to be real. Start opening up these books and dive into the real law of Hollywood, not the foo-foo-ness, the real law of Hollywood. Might be on some 8 millimeters joint, but you know what I'm saying.
For those who don't know, 8 millimeter, you know what I'm
Go
saying?
check that movie out.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's interesting, right? The last time I was in California, and I don't mean to add to your movie because this is your idea, but I think to add to it, in my opinion, why is it significant that they do these Hollywood stars, and on those same Hollywood stars, whenever after the ceremony, when they go home back to the nice houses in the hills, that there's tents being built on them same stars. The contradictory in coming to Hollywood and becoming a star, and you have homeless people that is living on literally on those stars. living on a Michael Jackson star or the TLC star. They pitch tents on these stars, y'all. And it was so mind-boggling to see. So that was one aspect where you have the very few people that make it, and the so many that suffer, that duality in that. And then also to add Scientology, the practice of Scientology, their tabernacles or their buildings of worship and what they believe, I only see it in Hollywood. I didn't see it. No, I've been to quite a few places in this world, and I've never seen it anywhere else. In Hollywood, it is prevalent there. Big place. They got one right downtown where the stars is at, and they got the home base like about 15 minutes, 20 minutes further down. Big jump. And what their belief system, and you have the biggest of stars that believe in Scientology, like Tom Cruise and so on and so forth, people of his stature that's in the business, whether they're in front or behind the character, and why that would be important to your movie as well too.
That needs to add who they plug, because all these Hollywood execs can definitely get that booger sugar easy. But who's y'all plug? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the Hollywood plug?
Mm-hmm.
That need to be in the documentary too, because y'all always got some booger sugar. Always on deck. How y'all get it? You know what I'm saying? Who's your supplier?
Mm-hmm.
So I need that on the documentary too as well. You know what I'm saying?
They said Tom Cruise is not real. Y'all stupid. Oh, once a hoe, always a hoe. But you know, it was an episode of the show Game, the show Game. There was an episode where Malik was dating a young lady, and she was like, "Yo, I'm busy. I gotta go shoot this movie." And she gets to the movie set, and he's there, and she like, "Yo, what are you doing here? I'm here to work. I got a job to do." And he was like, "Oh, all right, y'all." Like, and he snapped his finger, and everybody walked off set. Come to find out, he done paid all these producers, actors, makeup people, all these people just to be there so she could feel important enough to do a movie. And when he snapped his finger, everybody left. So that makes me feel that Hollywood has to be and is that easy. With everybody knows everybody pretty much. They snapped the fingers, and based on everybody knowing who they are, there's a consensus of what Hollywood is built on. Make believe. So yeah, I think that would be a dope movie. I think that would be a dope movie. I also think heads will roll from that movie as well too. It's some people. There's going to be a couple people that's going to have to pass away, unfortunately, for that movie to come out. But as much as
But I really want to know. For me, it's the beginnings of Hollywood. I want the 1899, the 1900, the 1910, the 1930s. You know what I'm saying? That's the era I want to focus on,
okay,
because that's the foundation of what everybody is doing now. You know what I'm saying? So who the one that created the foundation back then that they use now? The casting couches. You know what I'm saying? All that goofiness. Where was the child labor laws when y'all was doing Shirley Temple?
mm-hmm.
There was no child labor law. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all got so much dirt on y'all fingers that is crazy,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the early days, the Shirley Temple days, the days when they were making what's that movie? The Wizard of Oz.
Julie Garland.
Yeah, she had mad stories. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole heap of joints going on back then. You know what I'm saying?
Not heat. Not
Whole
heat.
heap. You know what I'm saying? Piles of it. And everybody was cool with it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Hollywood Hill parties was rocking back then when they didn't have no social media. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I really want the Black Dahlia. You know what I'm saying? They had a movie about some
Yes.
actress that got murdered on set
Yep.
violently, and nobody know
No
nothing.
nothing. No nothing. No nothing. Mm-hmm.
Whole mystery. But nobody don't know nothing though. Oh, okay. Yeah, Hollywood, y'all need to open up them books. You know what I'm saying?
You remember Corey Haim said, I forget the name of the movie, but Corey Haim said he did a movie with Charlie Sheen, when he was a young boy. He played his little brother, something like that, in the movie. And Charlie Sheen, you
So
know,
allegedly.
used
But
him.
my thing is like, bro, been saying that for years.
Yeah.
But nobody ain't pay him no mind.
Hmm.
They gave him his little special. He said what he had to say. Nobody ain't do nothing. That
Hmm.
was like 20 years ago.
Yeah. What? Yep. Hmm.
But that whole culture was still rocking.
Hmm.
They was still going to parties. You know what I'm saying? They had mad baby oil. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all think is Diddy? Like, nah, this shit happened way before him. He's just a nigga that just fell into the position.
Hmm.
Trust me, them parties been going on for a very long time. Very long time. This ain't nothing new. So that's
Hmm.
why I say Hollywood, you got a whole lot to divulge in this documentary series, especially in the early days of Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Them early days, bro, horrible.
That's why documentation is so important while things is going on, because I know people don't believe it. I know people make jokes about people getting old. That's the whole purpose, is getting older. But we have to document things while we're doing things, so that way, when we're getting older and we're no longer here, these things are preserved. And keeping track and keeping record of different things at different time periods, it matters to understand how we got through this time period. In order to go forward, we got to know where we're coming from. So I think that's a dope idea. That's a dope idea. I love that. All right, y'all. So for me, Hollywood needs to ask us. I want to see a comedy. I'll probably, I know I'm not in the minority in this, but one of these Hollywood producers just need to let my bro cook. One of these Hollywood producers needs to throw 15 million, nice 15 million bag, to the internet sensation Super Ray 14K. Just toss him the bag go and just let him go crazy. Let him go crazy. The Goop Scoop. I don't. You could call it a movie, whatever. The cocaine. You could call whatever you could call that movie, whatever you want. But just let my boy cook in the comedy. So shout out to Super Ray 14K. If you're on Instagram, if you're on any platform, whether it's TikTok, you've seen Super Ray 14K's comedies talking about the Goop Scoop, talking about the cocaine, where people in the wilderness killing geese, cooking a goat, all types of stuff, and the commentary that he puts to it, it's, oh my god, hilarious. Throw that man the 15 million, let him cook. And if you really want him to cook, throw little 3J. Well, I don't want to call him 3J. He a grown man right now, but throw what you call him in the movie with him too, because he's a nut as well. And just let them two cook, bro. What's bro name? That he been going crazy lately. I call him. I always think of 3J from Family Matters.
Oh, you talking about Orlando Brown?
Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown. You throw Orlando Brown with Super Ray 14K and let them cook, bro. Let them cook. Let them cook. Comedy will go crazy. What do you think about that?
A lot of y'all cultures is wild. You know what I'm saying? Like Super Ray 14K put y'all cultures on blast, and it's not looking good for a lot of y'all. You know what I'm saying? The disrespect y'all be throwing on us is crazy with the type of shit y'all be doing in y'all culture. It's insane to me. It's crazy. Like last one I seen was, I'm not even gonna disrespect. Y'all go on his page and y'all see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy how some of y'all got the gall and the wherewithal to talk crazy and greasy to us, and look at the shit y'all be eating. Like, nah, it's crazy. Like, chill. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, shout out to Fourth. Yeah, that'll be lit. Was it gonna be like a series or some shit? Was it gonna be like some comedy series, John?
Bro, I just want him to get the bag so he could cook however he feels like, inspired to do, whether he want to do a series or whether he want to do a 2.5 hour movie.
Matter of fact, we want to put in the stipulation, we want a series. We want 25 episodes. None of this goofy ass 10 episodes, 8 episodes. Nah. We going back to old school days. I want 25 episodes that's going to last the whole season. I want a Christmas episode, so I know, you know what I'm saying, it's in Christmas. I want a Thanksgiving episode like it used to be back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And I want a spring episode, so I know like the season about to be over. That's how we used to grow up back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
want 25 episode. Shout out to Super Ray 40K. Cut that check and let's get these laps going. You know what I'm saying?
Just let that man cook, bro. Just let him cook. You know what I'm saying? Let him do whatever he want to do, and it's gonna be a good time. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Some of y'all favorites, most favorite segment of the show. Our must see segment. Must see movies. Must hear music. Must see or classic TV show, stand up or comedy special. You want to start this one off?
Chat, chat, chat. You know how I do. I always got a theme. This episode is no different than the last episode. So my theme for this week is my favorite childhood movies. So these were my favorite childhood movies that I had on repeat on the VHS. You know what I'm saying? Just had them on extra repeat. And then sometimes I was mad because I wanted to watch the movie and I forgot to rewind it. You know what I'm saying? For the OGs, y'all know that about that, right? So the
Bro,
first,
before you go, when you rewind, those 5 minutes and 23 seconds
there was
was like
enough
a
time
light.
to make your snack,
Oh
get
my
your
god.
bev ready. You know what I'm saying? You have to time it right. Like, all right, so it's all the way at the end. Let me rewind it. I'm gonna go make me a sandwich real quick. By the time I come back, the shit should be ready. You know what I'm saying? So you have to manage your time properly. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So my first movie I gotta tap into if you ain't see it is my one of my favorite childhood movies is The Brave Little Toaster. Came out in 1987. Um, the voice actors are Dina Oliver, Timothy Stock, Timothy E. Day, Turl Ravenscroft, John Rampt, Phil Hartman, John Lovitz, Colette Savage, Jim Jackman, Wayne Katz, Judy Toll, and Randy Bennett. So cartoon animation, this was before Toy Story. So this was the first quote unquote Toy Story. It's about this brave little toaster that has his family owned and they move in and they forgot to pack the box with the brave little toaster in it. And you gotta watch the rest of the movie. Fire movie, classic. It's the 80s. So you know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah,
nostalgia all the way, baby.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tap into that. All right. Next one on the list is a throwback again. It's called The Rescuers. Came out in 1977. Throwback for real.
For real.
Stars voice actors are Bob Newhart, Eva Gabor, Gwendolyn Page, Joe Flynn, Pat Buttram, pause, Bernard Fox, that's the person name, crazy. Jordan, Michelle Stacy, Carrie Clemens, Jeanette Nolan, Shelby Flint, and John Hedler. Is about this these animals are anamorphic and this is like yo, these were the rescuers. You know what I'm saying? This little kid gets kidnapped and you got this rat and his little shorty rat, you know what I'm saying, that's on the case to find out who kidnapped this kid, son. I swear to God, it's classic right here. You're gonna
Yeah.
love this movie. I'm telling you, son. The rescue, you gotta tap into this one. You know what I'm saying? Not, last but not least, one of my favorites again, Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. Came out in 1992, stars Robin Williams, Tim Curry, Samantha Mathis, Christian Slater, Tone Loc, Cheech Marin, Tommy Chong, Jonathan Ward, Grace Zabarsky, Danny Mann, and Robert Pastorelli. About this ancient forest in the Amazon, this young kid, you know what I mean, working, cutting down trees. Forrest ain't having it, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta watch the rest of the movie to see what happens. Fire, 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 classic movie right here. All three of these movies you can watch with your children. It's just good program when Disney was on their shit. You know what I'm saying? So tap into Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, The Rescuers, and The Brave Little Toaster.
You know the movie gonna be popping when you got Tone Loc in the movie.
Come
people
on, son.
people don't give respect to Tone Loc. Tone Loc was the first original gangster rapper that transitioned to being a actor and still keeping his street cred. It wasn't Ice Cube. It was
Yeah, he ain't stopped cripping. You know what I'm saying? He
come
just got
on,
on
bro.
his top tier acting. You know what I'm saying?
Come
The
on,
cripping
bro.
was still there though. You have to respect the cripping. Especially when homie was on on blank check. I felt scared for my bro. I thought you were gonna get off. Like, yo, you fuck with Tone Loc. That's one of his goons. Nah, chill.
Yo,
Yo,
Tone,
little bro ain't got no chance right now, son.
bro. Tone Loc played in. Anytime I seen Tone Loc in a movie, I knew the movie was gonna be popping. Poetic Justice. Blank. When I rewatched Blank Check, bro, I almost lost. I'm like, yo, Tone Loc was in this. I'm tripping. And he in this too.
He
And
was a top tier goon in Blank Check. You know what I'm saying? Second goon right there. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, on the Martin TV show, right? Who was the owner of the Sugar Shack?
You said what?
On the Martin TV show, who was the owner of the Sugar Shack?
The Sugar Shack.
The Sugar Shack. That was the new Nipsey's. Cause something happened with Nipsey's, and then they started going to the Sugar Shack.
Damn, who was the owner? I'm trying to think. Who the fuck was the owner of the Sugar Shack?
Cause you remember Cole and Cole and Tommy was like, well, Martin had asked Cole and Tommy like, yo, what y'all doing tonight? He was like, oh, we about to go to the Sugar Shack.
Oh, is that the episode where he got roped up for all his jewels? Was that Sugar Shack episode? Was that Sugar Shack?
Nah, they got roped up. But they was clowning him because now that he married, he ain't coming to boogie. Like yo, go ahead with all that. You in the crib, like it's cool, G.
Damn, I can't remember who was the owner.
The owner was Tone Loc, bro. Yeah. Yeah, because it was the episode where the mother-in-law popped up on him or whatever, because Gina went somewhere, and the mom Dukes popped up on her, and she wanted to spend all this quality time. So he snuck out the crib to go to the Sugar Shack, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was that episode. Those are a couple of episodes where, like, you know what I'm saying, Gina wasn't around really. Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Okay, those were the late, yeah. This is like fourth season, fifth season, I think it was.
Yeah. So I was bringing up Tone Loc because of, we was talking about him. It's like, yo, he had so much legendary roles and characters that people don't give Tone Loc his credit. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tone Loc, man. So yo, fire movies. Make sure y'all go tap into those movies. My three must see movies. They all came out in 2002. I went on a 2002 binge this week, and I rewatched these movies. So make sure y'all tap into these. My first movie, 2002, directed by Scott Covert. This movie stars Stephen Dreyfuss, Brad Renfrey, Matt Dillon, James Franco, and Forenza Bulk. This movie is called Deuces Wild. Fire movie. Takes back to early Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? Back into the late 50s, early 60s on how that looked in those Brooklyn areas where they was very much segregated and everybody was on neighborhood gangster time. So make sure y'all tap in to see Deuces Wild. My next must-see movie, again, 2002, directed by Michael App. This stars Jennifer Lopez, Billy Campbell, Tessa Allen, and Dan Farderman. This movie is called Enough. This movie is about a married couple. Well, I should say a young lady that's working at a restaurant. Young man that's he's being captivating. Swoops her off her feet. They have a child together, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for you. Dope action movie, so make sure y'all tap into it, like a thriller type of vibe. So make sure y'all tap in. Third and final must-see movie, again, 2002, directed by Frank Reyes. This movie stars John Leguizamo, Peter Skarsgård, Fat Joe, Denise Richards, Nestor Serrano, and Tretch. This movie is called Empire. Fire movie, drug lord, kingpin in the neighborhood, making sure all the little homies are straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing, making sure all the little homies are straight. And he's building his empire. And he falls in love. And you have to watch the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all. Again, make sure y'all see Empire, Enough, and Deuces as well. So make sure y'all tap into those three movies. Any of those movies stick out to you?
Yo, Enough was, I know I shouldn't be laughing at it, but it was a hilarious scene where Nigga come in the crib, right? Shorty had 101 questions for bro. Nigga did not answer not one question, had the backhand for Shorty, and that was it. So no more questions. I'm like, damn. You
Yeah.
get the 4-finger discount. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
y'all,
enough with your petty questions. Where's my meal? Matter of fact, yeah, get my meal right now, man. What you mean?
and ladies,
Yo,
we not laughing at the, you know what I'm saying? But like certain things is just funny. Like if we
y'all gotta take it up with Hollywood. You know what I'm
got
saying?
Hollywood, but it's funny though. Like
It was funny. It wasn't funny, but it was funny. You know what I'm saying?
right, right. It's not funny, but like I feel the same way every time I watch Dead Presidents. There's something about this scene when Juanita was pressing, young Anthony, and young Anthony was dealing with a lot on his shoulders. Like he
Why you take that nigga love for granted, huh?
just
My man cutting up meats at the deli pause, trying to do what he gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Why
all
you
of the
stressing the man? You know what I'm saying?
all in the dead of winter in Chicago. He got a jacket, not even a coat. Like, and he's sacrificing, bringing home the deli meats, making sure the family eat good. And she like, yeah, her ex dude is sexing her, and all this, that, and the third. And when he choked her out, and it wasn't the funny part wasn't the choke out, y'all, because choke that domestic violence is not funny, but it wasn't funny. But it was funny because she was like, and when she did the it was like, yo, that Juilliard training, like it went
That
like,
that wasn't, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't act that. You know what I'm saying? That was pure chokage right there. You know what I'm saying? That came out with a pure choking scene right there, son. You know what I'm saying?
so yeah, so don't be mad. It's certain. Come on, we're not the only ones that think certain movies. It may not be funny, but it's funny. So you know what I'm saying? I get it, bro. I get it. And shout out to Ray Love. Do y'all like the series The Shy? The Shy is hit or miss for me, man.
I started watching it after, like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, like, I fell off after like the fourth season. I really fell off after they kicked bro out, or after the second season, but I just kept watching it. But
Mm-hmm.
then after like the fourth, fifth season, like, this is ass. And I don't know where this shit's the storyline going. Shit was crazy. I just wish whatever happened with bro in the first season didn't happen. Maybe like the series would have been better if he was like the star, but you know Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Niggas always get set up and shit.
Yeah. Like that series has good actors, but they will write like 6 solid episodes and then throw something in the episode for like a wow factor that is not realistic. Like for me in the first season, the show was going all good. All of a sudden, at a party, it's a gangster party on top of that. Bro was in a hot tub in front of everybody and gets out and he naked.
Like, that's not who wrote that to be gangster. What's gangster about you being butt naked in front of everybody in the party? That's not gangster. It's not manly. It's not strong. It doesn't give demure. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't give none of that. So who wrote that in the scene? And then the actor was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna act the shit out this scene."
Oh,
But, come on, Hollywood, you gotta do better, son.
like who thought that was like realistic? Like it was another scene in the movie Bully, and the son was in the bathroom butt naked, and the father walks into the bathroom having full on conversation like, man, you need to really think about your future, bro. I'm butt naked, dad. What, like, yo, we not having no conversation while I'm butt naked, bro. Who thought like how Hollywood is a trip? But going back to the Shy, it's stuff like that that happens in the Shy that in the show have solid episodes, and then out of the nowhere it just throwing some goofiness. So but it's all right ish. It's very sometimey, very sometimey. My bad. I watched the whole and nothing wrong watching the whole series. I'm not saying
The
no.
actors are good. I want them to go
Yeah,
on and do better things and do different things and do different roles that showcase their range as
yeah,
far as actors. But it always seems like when it comes to Hollywood, they always stigmatize certain people. Like, I know I know damn well Italian American actors are tired of playing Italian mobsters. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I
Yeah.
know they probably tired of doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that the only roles y'all could do? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta play a mobster from the Bronx or Brooklyn because I'm Italian? Like, come on. And because
Mm-hmm.
every black person, when he first starts off, he has to play a thug, like, or a drug dealer.
So,
Like, come on, son. Like,
mm-hmm.
this shit's ass.
Yeah.
He ain't go to Juilliard to be a drug dealer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He went to Juilliard to be the top tier actor.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How him playing the drug dealer gonna make him bring him to the upper echelons of acting?
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me. Like, y'all gotta stop this, man.
They didn't even show what happened to the guy, the food truck guy. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
they,
second season they just killed this character,
yeah.
had a whole light little wedding. I mean wedding,
Uh,
funeral, and then that was it. Like, you know what
uh,
I'm saying?
mhm. And
Like, that shit was horrible, son.
it was because of all the stuff that they were saying that he did on set during the first season about.
Right. And then that woman that whatever happened, she not even on the show no more.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they got rid of both of them.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like, yo.
yeah, they did that. They did that for sure. They did that for sure. I think she was in probably one thing that was
I
no.
haven't seen her since.
She may have been like I think she did the voice work for one of the Lion Kings. So I
My
haven't.
thing is, like, if you voice concern about certain things that's happening to you in Hollywood, but why is it that you getting denigrated as well for raising concern of something that you're not comfortable with?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would she have to get fired too? Or not get roles? Maybe you get fired for the Shy series, but you still get roles for other things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Hollywood, once you screw over or you slime one director, it seems as though like, and nobody else want to fuck with you now.
Mm-hmm.
Because one director have an issue with you or one producer have an issue with you. Now all the other producers don't really want to rock with you. Like, that's weird. You know what I'm saying?
And when you're the one making the complaint on the show, it's kind of telling when you also get let go or they ease you off. That kind of like, because if the other guy's on set, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but this is a possibility that if their chemistry, because they was a couple on screen, so if their chemistry, if the people around felt like their chemistry was like, what it was supposed to be and it was nothing fishy, and then she say something was fishy, it's going to make it harder for the other guys to work with her as well too. And then not to mention her character didn't kind of work with Eddie and everybody else. So I see why they did it, but I mean it's writing, the power of writing. You could write anybody, keep anybody in,
All
and
right.
anybody off.
They
So,
they hit her with that Aunt Viv shit. Oh, she's difficult.
hmm
Once they hit you with that difficult next to your name, now all of a sudden you can't be booked to be an actor no more, an actress.
hmm That's a fact. That's a fact. But I always have to say this: acting, you can't be difficult and say I'm here to do my job when you already know what the job entails. You can't just come and do your job when you already know this is not your first job on the set where you know that they need to have good energy or whatever that is going on the set. You need to be a part of that. If you're not a part of that, guess what? You difficult. You got to go. When you signed up for the gig, you know what it entails. You are elder statesman, especially if you're elder statesman on the set. You're not even the youngest
Well,
person on set.
what they call it? The first call on the call sheet or some shit. Like, there's a certain name where you have like you the top tier actor,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's something like you the first call on the call sheet or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? You setting precedence. You there, and everybody else is there working because of you, because you're the main actor, you're the main guy,
Mm-hmm.
you're the main draw. But
Mm-hmm.
if you being difficult and doing all this, that, and the third, and you putting all these other people at risk for their job, the grip guy, the camera guy, you know what I'm saying? All these niggas, they not, you know what I'm saying? They work the 9 to 5 job. So they need this,
They need this.
series to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
They need you to not do Buffale jump in the trailer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How are you gonna pay for his bills?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He need this whole series. You need the whole 6 months to shoot this series to make ends meet. But then you want to do Buffale because you the star. Like, that's crazy.
And to add on to this point, it's a good series that I didn't watch until the ending of last year. It's the Finally Famous. The series Finally Famous with the comedian. He does all the the voice over. He does all the impressions. He's really good at the impressions. I can't think of his name right now. It's called Finally Famous. Let me look
Oh,
at.
it had like one season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was ass. I know you're talking about.
Y-
Was it? No, it wasn't. Damn, I forget that he does a lot of impressions of
Yeah.
other actors and stuff.
Yeah. I was fucking with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was fucking with it because it showed a background on how Hollywood moved because he wanted to be a part of Hollywood. So he had to make conscious calls, or if he's going to do this movie, like Michael Rappaport, he plays like this out of the box director where he's like, yo, I want you to meet me at this corner and we're going to have a meeting. He never pulls up. So some random shit happens and all of a sudden the camera's rolling. And Michael Rappaport like, yo, this is all a part of the movie, baby. like, yo, what you mean? I thought I was here for a meeting. He like, yeah, nah. You know what I'm saying? Then when he come to the office, right? The girl in the office was like, yeah, I'm his daughter or something like that or whatever. And he was like, oh, all right, that's cool. And she like try to give him some buns, and he like, whoa, like, yo, you can't give me no buns, nuns. Wow, you know what I'm saying? And then Michael Rappaport, like, yo, nah, just go with it. I'm taking it on. He like, what you mean? I'm here for a meeting, bro. Like, so I mess with it because again, it showed that Hollywood energy, how relationships work, how Hollywood work. You know, he had a scene with Jamie Foxx when he rolling in Jamie Foxx trailer, and Jamie Foxx is smashing a girl, but he's wearing a dress. So Jamie Foxx is sitting there, and he was like, "Yeah, I know what you're tripping on right now. You're tripping on the dress, right?" And he like, "Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you." Like, yo, what? But like, he just finished having sex in the trailer, and he's talking to you with a dress on. Like where they do that at? So I mess with the show. Y'all can check it out, or y'all don't have to check it out. But again, to me, it was fire show, and it's a must watch for me. He clearly redeemed himself, but still got killed. He stopped drinking. Even got his together, saved the girlfriend, the kidnapper, and then shot in the back of the head after all of that. Yeah, yo, I'm telling you, yo, it's a must watch, yo. It's a must watch. Shout out to Tabitha for tapping in. Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Uh, where we at? We on my show now, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my must see or classic TV show, y'all must see the new Daredevil series on Disney called Born Again. 9 episodes. That's the only drawback is this new wave of how they release a season. Like my bro said, we grew up to the 22, 25, 35 episode seasons, right? And they give us 10. This series gave us 9, but it is a really, really good 9. I will say that, but I wish we could at least got 15 episodes out of this fire show. Born Again, instead of it being on Netflix, it's on Disney. Same cast: Charlie Cox, pause, Deborah Ann Wall, and Vincent Orfarino. I mess up his name, but terrific actor that plays Kingpin. Um, and again, it's one season up right now. You can watch the full season. The last episode just went off. Season was flawless. I'm not gonna lie, it was a flawless season. So make sure y'all tap in to see Daredevil Born Again. So make sure y'all tap into that. Um, I was referring to The Shy. He stopped. Oh, you talking about the character that came from the army. He was drinking all the time. He talked real slow, like, yeah, I don't even know I did that. Yeah, that dude, and he did catch the guy that kidnapped the girl. Yeah, I think it was Ronnie or Leon. I think his name was Ronnie, and then got his damn head blown off because he had murdered a kid that was innocent of something, and that kid was the truck driver's little brother. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's again great acting, decent show. The only thing with The Shy for me is that they throw these little things in the show for like the wild moment, and it's not realistic, so that's my only caveat with The Shy. My only caveat with The Shy. All right, moving on to our must hear music. Put these three songs on your playlist, R&B style, for my R&B lovers. R&B style. Put these three songs on your playlist. Shout out and spotlight to artist Adrian Marcel. Adrian Marcel, put these three songs on your playlist from Adrian Marcel. Number one, Liar. Number two, Timeless. Number three, Waiting. Make sure you put those three on your playlist. Again, number one, Liar. Number two, Timeless. Number three, Waiting. So make sure y'all put those three songs on your playlist by the artist Adrian Marcel. You got cologne for us?
Definitely got cologne for y'all. Y'all look good. Y'all feel good. Y'all smell good. You're gonna do good. This week, the fragrance is called Imaginary Authors, and the scent is a whiff of waffle cone. Don't let the name fool you. The scent is on point. 150 episodes of pure colognes. You know what I'm saying? Like we just give you all types of good smell good. You know what I'm saying? So tap into Imaginary Authors, a whiff of waffle cone. You're gonna get that nice vanilla. You know what I'm saying? And she gonna love it. So tap into once again, Imaginary Authors, a whiff of waffle cone.
Again, y'all, the whole goal is to get the girl. You smell good, you feel good, you gonna get good. So make sure you get her under the tuck, if you know what I mean. Get that.
Oh,
All right.
Barbara wanted a little shout out, so shout out to Barbara.
Shout out to Barbara. Barbara, thank you for tapping in. Barbara Nelson. You sure you're not my ex, Barbara? My ex last name was Nelson. You know, you sure? You sure? You sure you ain't got an alias up or something? Nah, I'm playing Barbara. Shout out to Barbara though. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps. Again, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. Button hyphenated sign snaps.com. First hot topic of the night. Fake degrees. So, a story has been uncovered where fake degrees have been running rampant. There's a college called uh, Amita College in California has allowed people to use their life experience as a qualification to obtain their master's and a doctorate degree without taking any classes without taking any classes. And now they take these degrees, or they've took these degrees quite, it's been thousands of people that took these degrees, used it as part of their qualifications on LinkedIn and on jobs, and have secured top paying jobs with these fake degrees. And some of these people still have these jobs. What do you think about that?
I mean, if you could write the scam yourself, run the scam, and see the scam all the way to the end and to fruition, that's top tier scamming right there. You know what I'm saying? Because that don't make no sense that you can use your life experiences to gain a doctorate degree and then go get a job based upon those degrees that you supposedly got at this prestigious school that you never really went to. And then still have those jobs, even though the job found out that those degrees you have ain't even real.
Mm-hmm.
Only, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but only in certain type of America that can go through. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So with that type of America, y'all can play that game all day. But in the real world, like you can't do that because you putting other people's life on the line. Let's say you get a, a doctor in medicine. You know what I'm saying? Like what life experiences you got to afford you to get that master's and doctorate degree without actually going to school for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy about cutting corners. You can't cut corners in life. You know what I'm saying? You can't skip steps. You're gonna have to start from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just crazy that how that can go about. And we know these schools and these people that left these schools with these degrees are not real, and yet you still getting jobs where people who just got out of college looking to go to these jobs can't get them with
Mm-hmm.
the actual degrees that they went to school for. So that's crazy to me.
The fact that they was able to pull off the finesse, what made them think that people wasn't going to use the finesse to get paid? Whether they get caught, all right, you got caught, but they still got paid in the mean in between time. And for them, that's all that matters. Now, in certain positions, like you said, they're playing with people's lives. Let's say that they're not a medical doctor. Let's say that they're a clinical doctor, where they actually sitting down with people and in the matters of the mind, and now they have the power to give prescriptions based on their analysis, or these are the exercises that you have to do mentally to get over your depression, and so on and so forth.
So that means based on their logic, just because I read the Black's Law Dictionary, I'm a lawyer now. You know what I'm saying? I can practice
Hmm.
law.
Hmm.
I'm damn taking the test to prove that I could practice law.
Right.
I just read the Black's Law Dictionary. Now I could practice law. I could be your lawyer now. Like how?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then on top of that, where's your experience? What's your win-loss ratio? You know what I'm saying?
Where's your colleagues?
Where's the other people that say, yeah, we went to school together?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just like Leroy, he had his mans that they was, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, they was pimping in Cleveland and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now they pimping for the Lord. So he had a colleague. So where's your colleague?
Even in Juice, they had colleagues. Just ask Bliss.
Ask Blizzard. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Blizzard. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out. You know
We
what I'm saying?
do it for Blizz. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Blizz. You know what I'm saying? Staying out of trouble and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me, I'm about to rob this joint. You know what I'm saying?
AOQ, you want a piece of this? With mad charisma, son.
Yo, but yeah, man, it's like at the end of the day, a scam is a scam. People gonna pull it and they gonna go to the furthest extent so they could get to that bag. Now, in social gatherings, they could also finesse too, because now when you're obtaining academia, you're in certain positions, you go to certain parties, meet and greets, and now you're there flexing on something that you really didn't do, but damn, like you really pulled the scam off. So the fact that this college allowed this to happen, or credit people who didn't deserve the credit, and their main qualification without going to classes was their life experience, can you really sum up somebody's life experience to say, yo, based on that, we're going to give you this degree without even coming to classes for the hours that would equivalent to this degree?
So you mean to tell me your life experience as being a meth head now gives you the degree to be a counselor?
Mm.
Hmm. I got you. Okay. That's what's
No,
up.
no classes, no
No
education,
classes. You just been doing meth for the last 10 years.
no point of origin, no point of,
Now all of a sudden you can counsel motherfuckers.
right,
Yeah,
right.
that's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Some people say, well, you rather take advice from a crackhead doing crack? Of course. But we're talking about when it comes from healing. You need a point of origin. You need some sort of foundation that when you talk to somebody that's dealing with that, that it's a credible source of knowledge that they could grow from. Like I grew up playing football, basketball, and boxing. So if I have a conversation about football, I'm speaking from a place of what I know, not just what I know, but what's effective. When I talk about basketball, it's the same way. When I talk about boxing, it's the same way. Any of my businesses, me as an artist, as a rap artist, when I talk about music, how I do my production, how I do my rhymes, it's always a place of expertise. Put in the time and the hours and the education and the things that you need to do to accelerate yourself. And these people was able to finesse. They got caught, but they still was able to finesse. All they got to do is relocate, because there's no real way. There's a real way to check degrees, obviously, but if they go to another state and they look the part, they sound the part. All they got to do is show you this piece of paper, and they're gonna do what they did in the early 2000s, lean with it, rock with it. So at the end of the day, they've been pulling this finesse, and they're gonna continue to get over.
Facts.
So shout out to the chat, Ray Love. I'm not saying to deprive those who went to school and earned their position. I'm just saying people can do without actual going to school. Well, that definitely would make sense. Yeah, I mean, so you're speaking in the sense of like reality is right, and I need people to understand this, right? Reality is we can read up on things, learn things, and if you do it enough, you can become it, right? But in these positions, you need proper education for a reason. There's a reason why you have to go to law school to be a lawyer, an esquire. You have to go to medical school to be a doctor. Even though you could read all the books that you could read, you still need to be around some sort of familiarity where it allows you to make mistakes and learn from your mistakes in a safe place. There's reasons why when you becoming a doctor that you do a residency. There's a reason why when you become a lawyer that you have to do an immense amount of reading and education and have these different things under your belt. Like you have to kind of move like a reporter in some sort of sense as far as your educational background on how to gain information. Same thing with football. There's a reason why to go to the NFL, you have to play American college football because it's something that they give you through that farm system. So I'm not saying that all things that you can't learn, like, for example, most practical things we could turn on YouTube, type it in, and be like, okay, I could see myself doing that, but that doesn't mean we have the foundation in doing that. We don't have the space to really make mistakes like that. So expertise matters. So when you do something for a long period of time, you need the expertise in it. It's just certain information that you do need. So I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but you still need that classic training in most things that requires us doing it for other people. Shout out to Sosa in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to HP for tapping in, man. Appreciate y'all. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Scientists say they found a planet that may have new life. With the help of the James Webb Telescope, scientists detect unique chemical patterns similar to those produced by the Earth, algae and seaweed, and it's a raising possibility of the presence of warm ocean on on uh on this particular on this particular planet. What do you think about that? They wouldn't say, but
Ain't Flint, Michigan water supply still fucked up? Like, what the fuck y'all worried about another planet for? We gotta fix this one right here. Like, y'all spending all this goofy ass money for dumb, frivolous shit when y'all need to be spending the money wisely and fixing our damn country. I don't give a damn about another planet.
hmm
I care about the planet I'm in right now. Like,
right,
what y'all
right,
talking about?
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Flint, Michigan water is still fucked up and it's 2025. What we talking about?
hmm
People in Mississippi can't even take showers because the water is so bad. But you want to take millions of dollars to look in space for what? Like, fuck out of here, son. Put the money where it's supposed to be. Like, y'all bugging.
Let me ask you a question. How much money do you think they resourced for the James Webb Telescope to see, the algae, seaweed, the warm ocean presence
I hope
of
they spend
possible.
enough money to find out how much lead is in the water in Flint. It
Mm,
should be the equivalent. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
But y'all ain't do that. You spend millions of dollars to look at algae in space. We don't even know if it's fucking real or not. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother
That's
talk.
a whole
But
nother.
let's just stick with this one, right? So you spend millions of dollars to look up at the telescope for some algae in a whole nother planet. But meanwhile, we down here fucked up as hell.
hmm
Niggas can't even afford eggs, but you looking at space. Come on, dog. How
hmm
you gonna make me believe in this shit? How? New York right now is fucked up. Do you know that in New York, the Easy Pass is owned by another country? So y'all niggas is paying
Facts.
Easy Pass to Singapore.
Facts.
But meanwhile, we got scientists looking at algae and looking at warm water in another planet. But meanwhile, the dolphins is dying in our water right here. Y'all don't got no answer for that. Oh, okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here.
Mm-hmm. What happened to not just make America great again, make our planet great again? Make
Why
it
not?
once.
Y'all niggas worry about another. Y'all about to leave or something? Where y'all going? Y'all can't go nowhere anyway. So y'all can stop with the booth out there and worry about fixing the one planet that we got right here.
That's a fact. This is
It's
not.
because of y'all niggas doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
Well,
taking private jets, flying all across the country, but then you gonna be screaming on me, talking about me driving my car is causing all the extra the CO2. But you done took a G5. You know what I'm saying? All across the planet. But my one car is causing all the CO2, but I gotta pay for it. Come on, son. Stop.
yo, they treating us like this is Dragon Ball Z, bro. Like we can't pull up to Planet Namek, we can't pull up to Planet Vegeta or none of that. Like we on Earth, bro. This is our planet. We need to make our planet, great and be able to produce foods and water at the cleanest and the best rate as possible. Instead of selling bottles of water for 60K, where they go to the Alps and then they go to France and they and the glacier droppings and they put the water together and it's 60K. My bro laughing because we covered a story where they actually had water that's 60K, and the process of doing it is all the things that I just said.
So my thing is like y'all got all this money for telescopes, but do you know that your drinking water is your tap water from your faucet is tied into your toilet water?
Mm-hmm.
But these niggas got millions of dollars to send to put on a telescope, but you can't fix my proper piping. Pause. So I can have clean drinking water, and it's not the same. It's not coming from the same pipe as the damn fucking water from the toilet.
They say
Like, what are we doing here, son?
what, like I know I'm not the only one. When I get the meats from the store, pause, cause that sound crazy.
Top tier. You know what I'm saying?
Top tier, right? But when
Grade A.
great, pause again. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You crack open that bag or that that packet. You know what I'm saying? You first thing you do is you rinse the water off. They saying that is now opposite of doing that. They said once you crack it, just get straight to the cooking. Don't throw the water on the joint no more. That used to be the go-to. You put the water to defrost it, help defrost it. You let it sit out, let it do its thing, and then you do the cooking. Now it's like, yo, once you crack it, baby, you got to get straight to the cooking. Ain't no more throw the water on it. It ain't safe. You just never know what type of chemicals is on your water. How when we grew up on tap water. I didn't. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I didn't grow up on quarter water. I grew up to tap on Thursday.
Yeah. Bro, we was at the park drinking from that fountain. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
I'm
good.
talking about the greasiest of fountains in the parks. Trust me, and when I say when we was growing up, bro, it was, you know what I'm saying? It was the time of our lives because we didn't
Right,
think nothing of it. Because when you thirsty, it was a hit or miss if that water's gonna be warm, it was gonna be cold, but you was gonna get some water though. You know what I'm saying? You ain't think about where the water came from.
right,
You assumed because it's from a park, they clean it and all this other stuff. But as we older now, we found out, nah, that's not even the case.
right.
They want to allocate the money that they should have been using to revamp our water supply, our damn train system, and all this other shit, and give it to niggas to look at stars.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like,
And I know in today's age, in 2025, tap water is crazy, right? But y'all know what I'm saying. It's like now y'all see what I'm drinking. I'm drinking alkaline water, straight alkaline all the time, right? Straight from the bottle. But I try to take all my bottles of water and pour them into the glass because they said it's not safe always drinking out of plastic bottle of water. So the more we learn, the better that we do. But look how we came as a society with just in the 90s and the 2000s. At least for me, I should say, I'm drinking tap water straight from the tap. And now it's not even safe for us to drink tap water or to throw the little water on the chicken just to, rinse it off or take all the blood and guts off of it. Nah, you got to throw that straight in the pot now. So again, we can't even get that together, let alone another planet that has warm water.
Come down to Florida, there's mad warm, beachy water right here. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of warm water down here. Y'all bugging.
Mm-hmm. And everywhere is different. Like one thing, when I do go back to New York, when I'm back home, I lose a lot of weight automatically because I don't eat when I'm back home. Because there's nothing to eat. I don't eat the same when I'm back in New York City. When I'm back in Brooklyn, I don't eat the same. I don't eat the pizza all the time. I don't eat Caribbean food all the time. I don't eat Chinese. I don't eat Chinese food no more. I don't eat none of that stuff how I used to eat. I'm on that. I'm on fruits. Give me the fruits. Give me that honeydew. Give me the pineapples. Give me the pause bananas. Okay, I had to pause that because y'all know how y'all do in the chat. But I like fresh fruits. In New York City, the point that I'm making, you're not gonna find fresh fruits. It's not the same. It's just different. Them grapes don't taste like, yo, what is this, bro? Like it just tastes different. So different.
We don't got the only fruits we grow in New York is apples. Everything else is imported from somewhere else.
Crazy.
We don't have the climate to grow strawberries and oranges and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not the climate for New York. Mm-hmm. Only apples. Top tier apples. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. And then the food that you eat in New York is all comfort food because it's cold. And when it get hot, you still want comfort food. You don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? At the bare minimum, you rather get an icy or some big joint of icy or whatever. Not that's not something you should be having. Like if you have enough icy, you will build up that lactic acid, and your body will go in shock if you have bro. Like so again, different places have different ways of producing the food, and it's done purposely. And we can't even worry about producing food and water, basic stuff, but we're worried about the algae and the seaweed water on a possible other planet. Crazy work. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Shout out to Mark in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Still do music. Absolutely. Type in Ashley Lovechild. Type in Ashley Lovechild. Yeah, of course. Of course. I'm nice. I say that humbly. But yeah, man, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Moving on to our next hot topic. What do you think about NBA player Patrick Beverly calling out Brandon Jennings, Lou Williams, Jeff Teague, all former NBA players to just straight run it, 1-on-1 basketball. What's happening? And Brandon Jennings was ducking smoke. What do you think about that?
Just pick a court, pick a time, and get it popping. What's the problem? What's all this jibber jabber? You know what I'm saying? Y'all all played in the league, so it shouldn't be no issue for y'all to pick a court, pick a fucking gym, wherever the fuck y'all want to set it up, and just set up the run. Simple. Mm-hmm. Y'all duck and smoke. You know what I'm saying? You might as well need to go on somebody else's podcast and explain why you duck and smoke. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Step up to the plate and take on that one-on-one challenge. Just get it popping. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Call some TV execs, get a TV deal, this, that, and the third, cut a check. You know what I'm saying? Get it rocky. It should be easy for y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, mm-hmm. what we talking about?
Yeah.
Just get it popping.
Because originally the conversation started about the guys in the 2000s who was like short point guards with Brandon Jennings. Jeff Teague is probably the biggest one out of all of them. Pause. He's probably like 6'2", 6'3"-ish. Jeff Teague, Brandon Jennings, Lou Williams. What's my boy from North Carolina that was with the Denver Nuggets? He was a baller, man. His name escapes me right now.
You talking about Ty Lawson?
Ty Lawson. So that was like, yo, let's play.
Call out Darren Williams too. Wherever Darren Williams at.
They didn't call out Darren. I'm just talking. I'm just talking that they you know what I'm saying? Like those are because you gotta remember Darren Williams was top tier point guard. No disrespect to them. No disrespect to them, bro. No disrespect. But you feel me? They were solid. They had solid years. They not trash. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna say these guys are trash. These are all good players. Lou Williams is a hell of a scorer. Jeff Teague can play. Brandon Jennings had a couple good years. So there's no diss, but you know, you know what I'm saying? Williams, you know what I'm saying? He not Williams, who you said? You said
Darren Williams.
Darren
Oh,
Williams.
matter of fact, get Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas is another good one, but Darren Williams was considered the best point guard in the league, or one of the best. He was top 3 arguably in the league. So I don't think they doing that conversation with that, with Darren Williams. But the in between crew, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, if they once they get it popping, a bunch of other niggas are gonna come out the woodwork like, yo, let me get a run. Like, I want to call out this nigga, or I want to call out this person. So, I mean, like, they need to set it up where they control the shit, where it's like it's their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't seen the big 3 in a minute. So I need y'all niggas to control this shit, get the paperwork right. You know what I'm saying? Holla at a streaming service, or you know what I'm saying, that's gonna stream the shit, because y'all gonna make money.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure niggas are gonna want to see this. One-on-one
Mm-hmm.
with top tier NBA greats. Come on, let's get this popping.
Yeah, let's get it. And see, and again, that's how the conversation started. But Patrick Beverly came out of woodwork like, yo, run it. Like, what's happening? Like, I got 100,000. Let's I'll pull up tomorrow. And Brandon Jennings, I ain't gonna hold you. He was backpedaling, bro. And then he came out later and said, why would he take it? Pause. When there's 500,000 on the table, but that wasn't his original statement. His original statement was, yeah, like, this not a 10 and under league, meaning like he don't want to play against a dude that didn't score at least average 10 points a game, right? But he's playing against guys to Pat Beverly's, and he mentioned that he said, "Yo, you mentioning guys that we was on the same team, and I was the starter. So how do that work?" Like, he was like, "Yo, when I was on the same team with Lou Williams, I started at point guard. Lou Williams came off the bench."
Hey, I just hear a lot of talking. I don't hear a lot of people shooting hoops. So y'all just need to get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see this now. You know what I'm saying? Like, off the talking, y'all got a whole bunch of sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Y'all got a whole bunch of shorts. Grab any one of them jumps. Mm-hmm. Pick a park, pick a gym, and get
hoop.
And hoop. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got all this time, all this money. Just make it happen. Mm-hmm. Fuck all this talking.
See, my thing is, if you're going to give that reasoning, yo, I don't want to play you because I don't feel like you on my level, or whatever the case may be.
Nah, I don't want to hear none of that. You know what I'm
saying? When somebody talking that smoke, you like, yeah, run it.
We're going to sell it up. We're going to sell it on the court. You know what I'm saying? But make sure y'all set it up, after the finals. So that way we could just continue with ball once the finals is done. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it don't even matter. Like, come on, we talking about the NBA. It's not a solid product. I'd rather watch these one-on-ones than the NBA, bro. The NBA is not a solid product, bro. Well, I heard a guy said this was one of the best years the NBA has ever had. Not one of those guys, but some random, analysis, a guy's analysis. So, like, get the hell out of here, bro. Like, come on, man. NBA is a trash ass product. Run those one-on-ones. I'm more inclined. I can't wait.
Not every team wins the championship every year. It's a whole new team every year. No, there's no dynasties no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gotta get it together, son.
See, I don't mind the competition aspect on who's winning this and who's winning that, but we're not getting a real product on the court. We're not. There's no real storylines. There's no real rivalries. There's no real, like, yo, I'm a bust your ass tonight, bro. Like, yeah, we cool in the off season. If we had a party at a shindig, I'm not gonna slap the shit out of you. But on the court, we getting it popping. It's not the same. I'm looking forward to the Lance Stevenson and Beasley. What's bro first name again?
Michael Beasley.
Michael Beasley. I'm looking forward to their one-on-one more than the damn playoffs, bro. So run these one-on-ones, bro. Run them. Run these one-on-ones. I want to see the one-on-ones. I want to see, the Teagues, the Jennings, the Pat Bevs, the Lou Williams. I want to see all of them play, because y'all calling each other out This is not like a guy off the street calling you out. This is somebody that played in your league. Y'all played against each other. So regardless of who average what, if they call you out, they run it. I can understand if it's somebody that's not in your realm for real, that hasn't played in the same league, that hasn't walked through those halls, that didn't start or whatever the case may be. They played in your league. It's the same damn arena. Get it popping, yo. Put the bag up and get it popping. If you're not gonna play somebody because you don't feel like they on your level, that's a cop out. And then when you say, yo, put the bag up and you still not gonna play them, then what is it, bro? Play ball. Do what you do. You play basketball, bro. Play basketball. Somebody's gonna pay you to do it too. Play ball, bro. We want to see it. We want to see it. If you're gonna win, win, bro. If you're gonna lose, lose, bro. But we want to see you play, bro. Period. Even what you call him now wants to challenge Pat Bev, which I thought was kind of corny. Swaggy P. He was like, nah, he coming at my boy Brandon Jennings. I challenge you, Pat Bev. And it's like, yo, Swaggy, chill. You first of all, I don't even think Patrick Beverly is even scared of him. But Swaggy P is 6'7", right? Why you not challenging Crawford or Joe Johnson? Joe Johnson, I don't know if people seen Joe Johnson lately, but Joe Johnson is still activated out here, bro. 6'8", 240, still got them handles, still getting tough buckets, still playing in the leads like, yo, what's happening? Playing against people that's hungry. Like, play against Joe Johnson, Swaggy P. That's a guy that's around your size and height, pause. That should be a good game. Y'all both are scorers, right? Come
Get
on,
a
man.
whole get a whole tournament, man. Get a whole tournament and just what I mean? Every game is an elimination. So we get the one player that what I'm saying? Like y'all
Get it.
can get this going. Like I think this is a good idea. Y'all gotta set it up like commercially, paperwork wise, whatever have you. But I think this would be a dope thing to have. Like, I'm saying? Like y'all could definitely do this. Y'all could keep running it every year if y'all set it up right. What I'm saying? Like it'll be a certain time of the month or a certain time of the year where it's like the one-on-ones is coming. I'm saying? And then now y'all could do and one city tours where y'all going to different cities play the game for niggas. I'm saying? That'll
Mm-hmm.
be lit. Like I'll go for that. I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all gotta put y'all thinking caps together and set that up. I'm saying? Y'all millionaires, so it shouldn't be no problem with the money to put it together. I'm saying?
And shout out to Ray Love. He said at the end of the game, he said at the end of the day, it's still a game. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, you doing what you do. You play ball. Go out there and play ball. If y'all going to talk, see, and I love the fact that guys are still young enough to still play. They're not gonna. There's no more. We gonna wait a whole era to go by for you to talk your shit and be like, yeah, I could have bust your ass if we was back in 2025, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just had to lace them up. All right, so it's 2025. It's money on the table. Lace them up.
Facts.
I'm just saying. Shout out to OMF in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Don't be weird. Be here to support. This is not that type of podcast. We don't deal with the bots. If you keep it up, we're gonna hook you up with some special tickets. So shout out to you anyway. Shout out to Ryan Anthony in building, one of our badge holders, one of our badge holders. Remember, y'all, different memberships, different access. So make sure you tap into your badges. Appreciate you tapping in as always. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Actor Tommy Davidson will reprise the role famously known as Varnell Hill of the legendary Martin TV show, as we spoke on earlier, with his own spin-off, him playing Varnell Hill. BET has ordered the show. Martin is going to be a part of the EP process. So will Bentley Kyle Evans, and the series will showcase from the workplace chaos amongst TV production of running the show like the Varnell Hill. So, what do you think about that?
I kind of like it, son. I think it's kind of dope. Definitely dope to see Tommy Davidson again. Top tier, funny guy. Like, and then playing Varnell Hill. Oh man, like that'd be fire. Like, as long as they write it, the writing is good. The jokes is on point because it's BET, so the writing has to be on point. You know what I'm saying? It has to be on point, and hopefully Tommy Davidson with his comedic genius will, I don't want to say oversee the writing, but like make sure the shit's on point. You know what I'm saying? When y'all do the reading after the writing is done, and it's like, okay, yeah, this makes sense for this scene. This is what, you know what I'm saying, the comedic person would say at this point. You know what I'm saying? So fact checking and all this other stuff. And I think it's a great idea. As long as the product is good. That's all I'm saying. I think it's phenomenal. I don't know what took us so long to come up with I never even thought about you know what I'm saying? So that's dope. Y'all watched the Hollywood Need to Action. Y'all came with your own Hollywood Need to Action. So that's fire. So
right.
I like that because I never thought of making a spin-off of Varnell Hill, but I think that's fire. Tommy Davidson, I think, reprised that role very well. And we only got a slither of Varnell Hill. So, you know what I'm saying? And just that slither alone was just enough to understand. That's Hollywood talk, man. You know what I'm saying? How many times I told you could come to my crib? Hundreds. How many times have you actually been to my crib?
Never.
And what would happen if you came to my crib, Rerun?
I'll
probably get sprayed. Yo, that's Hollywood talk. You know what I'm saying? Yo, definitely need a series of Varnell Hill. I'm for that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first heard the news, I was all the way out, mainly because I heard BET. That's all I heard was BET, and BET has a history on bringing on or trying to save. I won't say trying to save, but bringing on pre-existing great sitcoms, and they just have a way to BET that thing and just flub it all up. My main case in point, the game. The game, when it first came on, being a spinoff, basically off of Moesha, then Girlfriend, then the game. But that in itself, the foundation of the game, it was hilarious, funny, perfection. Kelsey Grammer was the man of that show, pushing the buttons, making sure that them laughs was activated. And then when they got dropped from from their network, BET picked that thing up and BET that thing and just turned it into just drama filled BS. So when I heard BET attach themselves to this, it wasn't Fox, it wasn't a network that is they build off of letting people cook. I was all the way out. What brought me back in a little bit is that the fact that Martin is going to be a part of this. Bentley Kyle Evans is going to be a part of this. He was one of the original producers of Martin and of the Jamie Foxx show. For those who don't know, Bentley Kyle Evans, who are vivid Martin fans, he played the Almond Brown character. The tall guy that always was trying to hit on Martin. And they came up with that role just because Martin was having a bad day one day, offset, and he was just trying to do things to make Martin laugh. And Martin was so pissed off later on, he was like, "Yo, do that thing you was doing earlier. That was kind of funny. Even though I was tight, do that in front of everybody because we want to throw that in the show." He like, "What you talking about? We're not doing that for the show. Like that. I was just trying to make you laugh, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? He's like, nah. Trust me, do it for the show. It's gonna be wild funny." So because these people are attached to it, I'm gonna give it half a chance. Tommy Davidson, funny legend. You got three legends a part of this project, so I'm gonna give it a chance in hopes that BET don't BET that thing. I'm just hoping they don't. You know what I'm saying? Let the characters move organically. Don't drama this thing up. Don't throw too many BET wigs on the characters. Don't BET this thing. Just sit back and make your money. Let these legends cook. So I'm gonna give it half a chance. I would have been all the way in if it was on a network that let their people cook. So, but I'm gonna give it half a chance. This is big time. Varnell Hill had what 2-3 episodes of the original Martin, and it still lived on 30 years later. So Shout out to Tommy Davidson, Martin Lawrence, and Bentley Kyle Evans. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Where do you believe the best fit is for Shador Sanders in the upcoming draft? Number 2 with the Browns, number 3 with the Giants, number 9 with the Saints, or number 21 with the Steelers?
Mm, Is either for me it'd be the Saints or Steelers, because
Okay.
those organizations have a pretty good track record of building their quarterback. I'm saying having a quarterback, building around that quarterback, getting the pieces that quarterback needs to elevate his game. The Browns, hell no. Giants, when the fuck did we ever have a black quarterback in the
Never,
Giants in the history
never,
of the Giants? So
never.
no, I don't want Shador to go to the Giants. Fuck no. I want
Mm-hmm.
him to go at least to the Saints or the what was the other one?
Steelers.
Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I think those two organizations are more so catered to building a stable foundation for their quarterback, because they know they need a franchise quarterback to propel them for the next 10 years. So your best bet is to protect that asset. And I feel the Saints organization or the Steelers have a pretty good mindset on doing that. The rest of the Browns, hell no. Giants, that's a fuck no.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. So for me, I would definitely go with the Steelers more because Mike Tomlin is there. You know what I'm saying? Melanin, and it's like he's always been producing, and the Steelers have never been a bad team. So
Right, right.
you know what I'm saying? So I think I'd go more with the Steelers for Shador.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like I did the research on the last 7 years of quarterbacks. So the first quarterbacks that always took it in the draft have been very unsuccessful with the last 7 draft class. The very first quarterbacks have been very unsuccessful. They've been mediocre at best. The second quarterback took in has always had a better career because it, you got to remember when you're the first guy, the first quarterback, you're going to a bad team. You're going to be asked. So if Shador ends up falling past 2, like the only benefit of him going to the Browns is just to say that he went number 2 and he wears number 2. So it was ordained for him to go number 2. I wouldn't be mad that he went to the Browns because I believe he's the type of talent and the type of player that could turn that around. I actually believe that. And the Browns is an inept franchise. They haven't had a good quarterback since probably Bernie Kosar, and he was all right. He wasn't somebody that knocked your socks off. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like I can see him going there, turning it around, but it's not going to be immediately. There's going to be a lot of growing pains. He walks. Their defense is already good, but offensively, it's like woo, Papa Molly, I'm sweating. Like it's scary hours on their offense, and then their offensive line, they need work. Um, as far as number 3 to the New York Giants, I pray that he doesn't go to the New York Giants. I honestly pray that the New York Giants have visited Shador Sanders more than any team in this whole process. I hope he doesn't go there because New York is the type of place they will turn on your ass when you don't produce. And it's not even about him producing. They're gonna put him in a position to fail. That's my only thing with the Giants. They don't have a history on really supporting quarterbacks that don't look like the establishment. Simple and plain. They just don't do it. Moving on. The Saints. I agree with you. The Saints have history on supporting any of their quarterbacks. If their quarterback is good, they're going to support you. Simple and plain. You nice? Oh, we could build around you. Oh, all right, cool. And and I understand the culture of New Orleans because the people just want to see a good product. They want to see a good team. He already wear the black and gold from Colorado, so that's not going to be a stretch. But they're going to support him. They're going to put the resources into him becoming better and being the best that he can be. I think his best landing spot truly is the New Orleans Saints. But if he falls to the Steelers, I'm not going to be mad because I trust Mike Tomlin the most as a coach. As a coach, he never had a losing season, and he's going to help build this young quarterback through his pedigree. He's going to find him targets because Pittsburgh, what they do well, they know how to draft second round receivers to be top tier receivers. After at third round, fourth round, they found Antonio Brown in the fifth round, bro. So they know how to draft receivers, know how to draft targets. So I trust the Saints. The only thing in him going 21 to the Saints is that he's going 21 and not, the top part of the draft.
I just, you know what I'm saying? As long as he's able, he goes to a franchise that caters to his needs. I'm tired of quarterbacks, period, going to franchises and expecting them to turn the franchise around. But meanwhile, you don't got no offensive line for the nigga. Like, what you mean? We got DNs that's running a 4-3. Like, what are we talking about here? Get somebody to block this nigga for me, man. Damn.
Right.
I can't even get my shit off yet. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
DNs is running 4-3s and 4-4s in the league. Mm-hmm. Where's my backside blocker?
Mm-hmm.
So as long as he goes to an organization that is fundamental on the basics, and which is, and we don't talk about this a lot, is the damn front line. We don't talk about the offensive line. We only like talking about skill players. Oh, Antonio Brown, Tom Brady, and this, that, and the third. Now we need the big boys.
Yeah.
The only reason Tom Brady and these niggas is nice is because them big boys in the front line.
Mm-hmm.
So you get, and that's why I feel the Steelers would be a better bet because Tomlin, I don't know, this nigga's a mastermind with the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga will get niggas where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that whole being the number one overall pick, what the fuck does it matter if you were number one overall pick if you go into a Dookie franchise?
Right.
What's the point of that?
Right.
Well, the whole season, I'm running away from DNs and shit. And like, I'm not even being in my position that I really want to be because I got 3-4 niggas chasing me every damn play. Because I got no line. But they expect me to produce. What the fuck? Nah, son. You know what I'm saying? So as long as they go to a right organization, he gonna excel.
Mm-hmm. Again, when we look at the kid that went to the Bears last year, and I said that the other kid would be better that end up going to Washington because he throws more on schedule because of his quick, agility, running ability, even though he's slightly more slender. But I like him better, and he ended up being a better quarterback and going to the Redskins of all places and turning the Redskins around. And they're going to be serious for a long time with Daniels. So, I mean, like I said, for the past 7-8 years, the first quarterback taken is in a horrible spot. If you look at the kid Bryce Young when he went to Carolina, and you look at the kid that went to the Texans, and the kid on the Texans, C.J. Stroud, is lighting it up because he went to the right spot. He went number 2. So I'm not, when it comes to quarterbacking, I'm not worried about the number that they go is more about where they go. The organization, the coaching, the people that's going to build around that particular quarterback. And in the next year's draft, the teams that need a quarterback this year, they just wait in next year. Like the Colts, they need a quarterback. Even though the kid Richardson, he has a lot of tools. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he has a lot of tools. But he's not ready. He still needs more development. But they need to take themselves a quarterback. You have the Raiders took Geno. The Jets, they took the kid from the Steelers, via away from the Bears. So you still got teams that need quarterbacks. So I would like to see me personally, Shador, either go to the Saints or the Steelers. I'll be happy with either or for him and to see him grow. I think he's one of the best players in this entire draft. Now, of course, people are like, what you mean? You got players who are graded higher than him. So what? There's something called a redraft. And 4 years down the line, and when we do a redraft, you're going to be like, yeah, how in the hell we took that guy and thought that guy was going to be good over this guy? Tom Brady's a perfect example. Tom Brady won the 6th round. If you redo his draft, you're taking Tom Brady number 1 overall. So, as in the present moment, I think he's one of the best talented players in the draft, the best quarterback in the draft, and is better suited on where he goes and not what number he goes at. So, all right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. A lady goes viral for calling another woman the N word repeatedly. But she's been found on social media. She works at the Bank of West, employee Natasha Chad. She's a former UCLA grad, and she works at the Bank of West. Not sure what, but again, she was caught on tape having some sort of argument with another woman that happened to be melanated because she kept calling her the N word repeatedly. And the lady that she was speaking to basically said, "You want me to react because you keep saying it." So she did that on purpose. And mind you, the lady is melanated herself, but I don't think she thinks she's melanated. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that one. I think that chick, she's Indian or something. The one that was using the profane words to the other woman. It's just a level of disrespect where people feel comfortable saying these things. Where I feel like that level of disrespect is just now they just comfortable. You know what I'm saying with it. But again, like that situation is pretty isolated. You don't. I don't. In my 40 years of life, I ain't. I swear to God, a motherfucker ain't never used the N word towards me. So it's very rare. I feel like it's divisive, but this person was caught on cameras doing it. So I feel as though accountability needs to be had. And unfortunately, I feel she needs to lose her job because how you work in customer service and you're not giving no kind of customer service.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
could have used different wording. You could have used all types of there's a whole bunch of words in the English language that you could have used to de-escalate the situation. You know what I'm saying? But you chose not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that the job sees that video and just fire him, like, because there's no point of having somebody on the staff like that using vulgar words and being just being comfortable doing it. It's the comfortability for me that I find alarming. That you just so cool with using the word and trying to provoke reaction out of somebody. So if you were to get the reaction out of them, what were you going to do? File charges after that? Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, it feels like it was going to be a trap or something. So shout out to that woman for having the poise to not snatch her out her car. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because well, I haven't seen women get snatched out their car by other women because you was disrespectful. So you're lucky she didn't pull you by your roots and
Mm-hmm.
take you out your damn car. Because
Mm-hmm.
then you would have escalated even more and all this other stuff, try to pull and press charges, even though you provoked her. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like her job should definitely need to fire her. This is a wake up call that you need. Like, you can't be out here disrespecting people just because I don't know what caused it or whatever, but all we saw was the the back and forth with them. So from
Mm-hmm.
off that alone, it was uncalled for.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, for that type of provoke, it don't even matter what the cause was because you're showing a level of your character, whether it's on the job or off the job. You're still representing a company that's bigger than yourself. That in the back of your mind, that you think is okay to move and groove like that. We live in a world where they use racism as a tool. Not to say that it's not a real thing, because it is a real thing, but it's used as a tool. It's not something that, um, like, we have subcultures, football, basketball, music, entertainment, that we all enjoy, whether regardless of what race, creed that we are, the different backgrounds that we are. But racism only come into play when it's a tool that we need to use it for. And this lady used it as a tool to enlist some sort of reaction to get her to do whatever that she wanted her to do. So obviously the intention on top of that was even more treacherous and more demonic. So at the end of the day, I hope, like you, that she loses her job because, mind you, she wasn't at work when she did this. This was like a regular thing. And the fact that the internet was able to, they found her license plate, they found her job, they found where she, what school she graduated from, her name. So the internet is a serious place where if you're moving in a way that is such in a way that is so backwards to how we move as a society, it's like, yo, you got to get up out of here. If you're not for righteousness, regardless of or whatever your background is, then it's just like, yo, you got to get up out of here. Like even the show, I always use the show as an example. Like the amount of people that pour into the show, that show love to the show, they don't all look like me and you. We got people from all different backgrounds, race, creeds, and they support the show, even if we have an opinion that and their opinion is different from our opinion. They still support the show because our opinion is based in some sort of logic. And we're looking at the totality of things. It's not just a closed conversation to most things. So at the end of the day, realizing that racism is used as a tool and know that there's a bigger connection based on our subgenres. Podcasting is a subgenre. Sports is a genre, entertainment, so on and so forth. And these things bring people closer together, and you see the experience of how people really think and move and react. So based on she moving the way she was moving, it's obviously some sort of attention grabber that she was intending to do some sort of life harm to this lady. So I agree with you, bro. I applaud this lady for mainly not dragging her. You know what I mean? And helping this lady achieve the goals that she wanted to achieve. So shout out to her. I wish I had the lady name. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Ray Love in the building, but no one should call anyone the N word. Spanish people use the N word, and there are other races who grow up in an environment where it's okay the N word because it's the environment that they grow. I know exactly what you mean. We've had a conversation previously about Spanish and the so-called black. Anybody that watches the show know I don't consider myself black because that's not what I am, or the people that look like me, that's not what we are. We're not three-fifths of a human being or as a people. So we are a part of the lost tribe. I will say that. And it's a tool to separate people who are Spanish speaking people who look like me and my bro, who are just as light and just as dark, but they from a place that speaks Spanish. But melodation is the same. So I have people that understand the experience and realize we're one and the same. So that's why they feel comfortable using the word. They identify with the experience and they don't separate. The problem is when some people who are of Spanish descent that want to separate and also use it as a convenience. Can't have it both ways. It's either you are with the culture in the sense where you experience what we experience and you are what we are. It's not just enough that you chill with us. You are what we are. So the fact that you're able to use the word is based on you being a part of the culture. And that's the only acceptance that's allowed. But when you say, yeah, I ain't a part of the culture, so you making it convenient. And that's the times when we have a breaking point, when we're really one and together. So it's a deeper conversation because there are truths that certain people are not ready to deal with because they had information passed down from one generation to the next generation without doing the proper education on their origin. So we're one and together, but they use this thing as a tool. So shout out to that lady for not letting it get the best of her. But that's a whole nother conversation. But shout out to y'all for staying abreast in the chat because y'all killing it in the chat. Anything you want to add to that, bro?
It's just really knowing your background. Like I do a lot of history, so I understand history and stuff like that, and I understand the games that's being played. So you can't really fault me. Like you can't really hit me with the N word and try to like get a rise out of me because I know y'all history. You know what I'm saying? And I know my history, and y'all history is horrible. So you can't slime me with the N word. You know what I'm saying? Like without us, y'all wouldn't have no history because everything started with us at the end of the day anyway. Europe was built on by melanated people. The principalities of Europe that ran Europe up until the 17th century was black. It's facts. I don't care how you feel about it. It's facts. You know what I'm saying? America, melanated. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the deeper you dig in the dirt, the darker it's gonna be. So you can't hit me with the N word and make me feel some type of way because I know my history. So you can never slime me. And I'm IECN at the end of the day. So I definitely know my history. There's no slamming me because my ancestors fought for this country and won, help this help America be what it is. So at the end of the day, you can never slime me because my history goes way, way back. And I know my shit. So you can never slime me with the N-word. That's nothing to me.
Shout out to Jose in the building. I'm sorry, Joseph in the building. Shout out to PYCA and K in the building. PyCont. Appreciate you tapping in. And again, appreciate Ray Love in the chat heavy, man.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I speak Creole. You can't be Creole. You speak Creole. I'm Haitian. There's no such thing as you being Creole. You know what I'm saying? That's a misnomer with Louisiana. It's either you Haitian or you not. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no I'm Creole. That doesn't even add up or compute because I speak the language Creole. There's no people that is Creole. It doesn't exist. Either you Arawak, which is the origin of my people, or you Taino. There's no I'm Creole. That's not what it is. I speak Creole. That's a language for my people. Just FYI.
All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. What do you think about the back and forth of the comedian Corey Holcomb, the Joe Button podcast, and Godfrey and Comedy Hype podcast? Uh,
What's the issue again? Because I know
what?
there was an issue with like comedy hype or something like that. I forgot what it was. I know Corey Holcomb been had beef with like the dude who runs comedy hype
Yeah, yeah. So
for a little bit. So I know there's like some tiff behind it, but I'm not prevalent on what the issue is with comedy hype. And you said who else besides Corey Holcomb? Who's the other person?
Corey Holcomb.
Oh,
And
Godfrey, right?
Mhm.
Well, what's the issue again?
Well, Corey Holcomb has been on the record saying several times, even though he's hilarious, but he's been on record saying several times that if you've been in certain amount of movies, then you done gave up some of that back action, for, and use of other words, and
Backdoor activity.
yeah, yeah, and then he brings up a situation where he says that Godfrey had told him about one of his roommates who was happened to be on that particular side of the ball game, and he felt like, how do you have a roommate that plays and you don't play? So then you have that, and then you have the Joe Button podcast that kind of gave some sort of like retort on the fact that all people who are successful don't have to do backdoor action. And then of course, comedy hype. Corey has said that we never really see the dude from comedy hype, but you can hear it in his voice that there's a lot of backdoor action. And Corey Holcomb asked the question: if you do backdoor business, right? And I'm paraphrasing here. If you do backdoor business, he wants to know, have you done it, so he knows how to communicate with you, because he doesn't feel like you could give a manly response based on anything that he's talking about if you participate in backdoor activities.
Again, that's the part of Hollywood that's really like funny. You know what I'm saying? Like that gray area where it's like certain people getting parts and this, that, and the third, and it's like they have special privileges, and you heard about some casting and all this other stuff, and it's just weird occurrences with certain people, like this person's high and this other person is not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're like, you know what I'm saying, if you're gay and that's your preference, then
Yeah.
that's your relation. That's fine. That's not a problem with that. But what we're saying is if there's some secret dealings behind closed doors that have something to elevate your position, now we have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now it's an issue because now it's not about your talent and it's about not about your skill set. Because now that goes out the window because you doing extracurricular activities to get the limelight, where it's taken away from somebody else who's putting the work in or going to comedy shows 3, 4, 5 nights a week. You know what I'm saying? To get their name out there, but you over here doing backdoor channel work, and it's like your credibility can't be on the same level as somebody else who's been working their craft. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be looked at as being a credible person if that's the route you chose. You know what I'm saying? Again, you can't skip steps in life. You know what I'm saying? You got to put the work
And then he keeps calling Godfrey Mr. Gaiman because he played a role in was it what's the movie with Kevin Hart?
Oh, Soul Plane.
And his character name was Gaiman. You remember he was one of the pilots, and he was in a hot tub with the chicks, but his name was Gaiman, so he calls him Mr. Gaiman, which is crazy. You know what I mean? But I don't get that type of vibe from Godfrey. Godfrey's always been funny to me. I always thought they was cool, but you know something the communication has seriously broke down from whatever they going through. But there's a level of what Corey Holcomb is talking about that I definitely agree with. And when you basically had spoke on it, it's like, yo, if you're throwing sexual activity into the negotiating game, then there's no space for real talent. How can there ever be a space for real talent if every time that this is supposed to be a talent based thing, this thing of ours of entertainment, whether it's, comedy. I'm not a comedian. I'm just saying ours as entertainment, music, the whole genre, right? Acting, whatever the case may be, right? If it's supposed to be based on talent, people supposed to get the most attention based on talent. But if you throw your bedroom abilities into the mix in negotiation, then it's not one, it's not built off of talent, and two, you're not getting the best product. So whatever the art is always going to suffer. So that is a factor in itself too. Now, do I believe that everybody that's successful did it that way? Absolutely not. I don't believe every single person did it that way. That has become a success. But
it's Hollywood at the end of the day. You know what I'm
how?
saying? The whole thing is Hollywood at the end of the day. And there's a bunch of sus motherfuckers that run this shit that make you do sus things for some piece of change or to get your name out there with this little role that you got. You know what I'm saying? There's always some weirdo occurrences. You know what I'm saying? Even during when when they what's his name? The dude that was running Lionsgate for years that they just sent. What was his name? Hart Weinstein.
Oh, Weinstein. Okay.
So when he was around and hot and his production studio was running numbers and everybody who worked with him got an Academy Award. If you go back to those award ceremonies and when they go up on stage and they talk about when they're thanking their people, they always thank Weinstein, but they always had an innuendo next to it. But everybody in the crowd laughed and giggled like it was an inside joke that everybody in the audience knew, but us as the audience had no idea what was going on. But the motherfuckers sitting in them seats knew what was going on because they all was laughing. So you can't tell me that none of y'all know what's going on. When y'all all have these jokes, these innuendos, when you watch these roasts, they will start saying some of these things. The Bob Saget roast, which was one of the most egregious roasts I've ever seen. The roast the jokes they were saying with this man, it's like, yo, hold up. What you mean?
Right.
What are you saying?
Right.
Well, why would you say that? You know what I'm saying? So it makes you question, like, what's really going on here? It can't be talent. Because let's really talk about it. Bob Saget, rest in peace, but did he have great talent? No, he was picked. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always bring up Steven Gutenberg. Y'all don't even know who Steve Gutenberg is. He was another cat that was picked top tier in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? What did he have talent? Nah. Police Academy was hilarious. But was he top tier in his acting prowess? Hell no. But how did he get that role though? And he had 5 of those movies. How? You know what I'm saying? How you get that if you ain't go to Juilliard and really put the work in? You ain't go to the theater route and do theater for years. You know what I'm saying? You ain't do that. So how'd you get there? That's what I'm saying. You can't cut corners, but when you go to Hollywood, it seems like, yeah, backdoor activity is on prowl if you want to cut corners. But then again, when you do that, you compromise. Because now they could pop in the tape, show them what you did last night. Oh, you don't want to sign with us? You don't want to do this movie? Man, pop in the tape. Show them what he did last night. Yeah, I bet you won't change your mind then when you seen you was doing all types of wild stuff at the party.
What Martin used to say, damn, you a wild boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just straight wild. You know what I mean?
Just, you know what I'm saying? Out here, wow. Freestyle.
Shout out to Rowan Jack, one of our day ones, one of our badge holders, our big dog paws. Shout out to Rowan Jack for always showing support to the show, man. Yeah, he said the Terry Crews of his time. Nah, but at the end of the day, bro, like when you look at all of this stuff, right? Because people take out what's the word I'm looking for? People take accolades and apply it to people's talent. When you look at the history, you look them up, you like, okay, they won Best Actor of the Year, they did this, they did that, and then you be like, damn, were they the best actor in that year? So do we really praise accolades or do we praise talent? And when we see people that's already in position with no type of real prerequisite of any type of work or how they got that role, like they were so lit in this small role in this small movie, they got a shot at a small role in a big movie. Like the first time I seen Tisha Campbell, from my eyes, was in Another 48 Hours. But people was like, nah, she from the Little Shop of Horrors, but Little Shop of Horrors is way before my time. You know what I'm saying? 48 Hours, I was a little kid when 48 Hours came out. You know what I mean? So I remember seeing her young, pretty little thing on there. You know, she the young daughter, Pops in jail. Reggie Hammond rolled up on her like, yo, your Pops was a good man. He looked out for me in jail. I know, don't make that face, boo. But he hold these 80 racks for your Pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looked out. That was the first time I seen Tisha Campbell. And then next thing I looked up, she's a House Party. So you see the prerequisite. You see that she took a small role, turned it into a big role. But when you see some of these a lot of other actors, when they come out of nowhere, it's like, yo, what small role did you have in any movie prior to, bro? You just jumped ahead of the line. So again, when you're doing things and you're using your sexual abilities or your practices as a negotiation, nothing that we do is built off talent. So how can we really judge to say who is the best or who could get a real shot at playing this role? So people are forced who are talented to create their own lane. It's a road further traveled, but it's more fulfilling. But on the way through that road, people don't give the proper and the due diligence of the respect of the craft and what it took of that roadmap.
Facts. Facts. And then you had mentioned Terry Crews. Remember, he had that situation where was no lawsuit, no
Yeah,
case brought up, nothing.
yeah.
Just him crying on TV with a bunch of women talking about, oh, the nigga violated me, but you ain't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What you talking about? Oh, I would have hit him, and you did nothing, nothing. And how many years ago was that? There was no case brought up, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So you told niggas for what? You know what I'm saying? You told us for what? What was the purpose of you telling this situation if you wasn't gonna bring no legal action on that? But you knew you couldn't do no legal action because they're gonna pop in the tape, show you what you did last night. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they let you go on the little shows and yeah, this person touched me and this, that, and the third. I don't even know if he even said the name of the person who did it. It was some executive at a party.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I don't think.
Exactly. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's like it's always something. They got some over your head because ain't no way In hell, in no type of reality, that's happened to no real man.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like
never.
you know what's interesting? That he was more comfortable telling the story that he beat up his own father than him talking about somebody that violated him.
They pick these people, man. They pick these. I swear, I'm gonna die on this hill. They pick these people, son, for a reason. They elevate them and make you think that this person's a superstar, but behind closed door, they backyardigans. You know what I'm saying? So how can you be credible if your own stance, you don't even stand on it? Because that's what makes you a man at the end of the day. Regardless how anybody feels about your stance, you standing on it because that's what you believe in. But if you flip floppy, you go with the wind. Nah, I'm good. Ain't
Mm-hmm.
nothing credible about you, bro. And then you in Hollywood, so definitely ain't nothing credible about you. I'm sorry. Ain't
Mm-hmm.
nobody in Hollywood is credible. Because remember, rappers turn actors, actors turn rappers. How?
Mm-hmm.
How does you pitching on the block selling crack? Now all of a sudden you got time to write in your rhyme book to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you become a rapper, top tier. Now you acting. Like, what's the trajectory? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But they always do that. So if you're a rapper turn actor, actor turn rapper, I can never believe you. I'm sorry. Your whole life is false. I can't. Because it could be all made up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Unless you create your own, you know what I'm
huh?
saying? Unless you're able to create your own.
Well,
Yeah.
for you to create your own, that's the thing, because it's like it's gonna be hard because you're not gonna have no bread, right? To create your own. So you gotta go that route. But then after a certain point, when do you decide, like, okay, I got enough money to start my own thing? At what point do y'all do that? It's too many of y'all actors and actresses that had millions of dollars for years, but none of y'all got no production studios. None of y'all got your own writing team, nothing. And y'all still asking Hollywood to give you a handout. Like, come on, son, make your own movie,
Mm-hmm.
make your own TV show. Like, you could go on YouTube right now and holler at mad people on YouTube, be like, yo, I need a production team and this, that, and the third. You know how many people gonna run up, be like, yo, I'll do it for free.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, son. It's just y'all don't want to. And then
And,
the contracts that y'all sign, because we never see the contracts, I wholeheartedly believe that in the contracts it stipulates you can't use none of this money to go back to the hood and help niggas.
mm-hmm.
So you might as well buy the fake bags that y'all buy. You might as well buy the houses and the cars, because that's all you can do. Because God forbid, they ain't gonna let you using the money that they paid you to go back to the hood and help the hood. Never.
Mm-hmm.
It's in y'all contract. That's why y'all can never do
It's always interesting because dealing and seeing with this particular part of Hollywood, we have too many people that made millions, supposedly.
supposedly.
It looks good, it looks great, but there's no real place for people to move about. It's like compared to the people that create their own and was able to take it to the next level compared to how many people was more focused on being famous and getting their face out there. Like you think of your Ice Cubes, you think of your Tyler Perry's, you think of your Cat Williams, you think of your 50 Cents. Those are four people out of how many people that's in Hollywood. And the reason why I bring up those four people in particular because three out of the four of them just started, just started,
Just started.
just started having their own production house where they own the property where they could shoot their own movies on. Just did that. They just did that. And they've been doing this for a long time, a long time. So there's ways of doing this, and there's ways because acting and music, that's not the a foundation of evil. That's a foundation of art. But the business practices that's around the quote unquote top tier, the entertainment world of acting, the entertainment of music, that's demonic as that's a place where the practices start becoming important, where they're interjecting bedroom activity. We're not talking about preference. We're talking about the activity of building and bending to someone's whim based on your lack of negotiation. So your only negotiation to top it off, pause, is to top it off. Pause. Because you add that to the mix and it's not based on the foundation of talent.
Facts.
All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Uh, Texas track. I'm sorry. Texas track meet stabbing suspect Carmelo Anthony is released from jail after posting bond. What do you think about that? Did you hear about the stabbing at the track meet?
I mean, then whatchamacallit, George Zimmerman get bond?
Facts.
All right, so it's part of it. When they go back, when you go to court and the judge sees the stipulations that the prosecutors bring in and the defense lawyers bring in, that's what makes the judgment of can this defendant get bail or not. Based on what was brought up, the judge deemed that they could get bail, and they lowered the bail.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see nothing wrong with it. When they did it for George Zimmerman, when they did it with Dylan Roof, it was no problem because they're using the law. So when they're using the law here, what's the problem? Isn't it the law that they're using in their favor?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, there's no issue there.
And even though somebody lost their life, the person who ended up he said that this was self-defense, so he's going to get his time and day in court. He's saying that if this was self-defense, there was witnesses that said it was self-defense, or vice versa, everybody's going to have their day in court. So at the end of the day, let this be an individual based situation and not let race be used as a tool, because they're going to use race as the tool that it is. This is going to be the leading part where you're going to have people on one side and then you have people on the other side just based off of race and not based off of no type of foundational facts. So let this young man have his day in court. Let them present all the evidence against him and let him present all the evidence for him. And this is why we have, blind justice. We have
That's
to let.
why the law is supposed to be fair, right?
Mhm.
So let it be fair. And it's in Texas. So, you know what I'm saying? So
That's a
the
fact.
judge gave him house arrest. He got ankle monitor. He's not running. So let the day in court be the day in court, and then the evidence will be the evidence at the end of the day. So there shouldn't be but there is going to be emotional, racial tension behind
Yeah.
it. There's
Yes.
always going to be that. But at the end of the day, I try to take the race out of it and just look at the situation for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if one person could get bail, why can another person get bail? Why? Because what's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
If the judge sees there's no reason why this person cannot get bail, there shouldn't be no reason why you or the public and the constituency feel some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, race is always going to play a part in it. It's not something that we always put out there, but it's just always there. You know what I'm saying? So when the trial starts, that's when we're gonna really see all the evidence and what they have.
Mm-hmm. And this case is going to be pretty big, and I think mainly because of the kid's name. His name is the same as a famous basketball player. They just spell it with a K instead of a C, and we people get murdered every day. Why did they pick this case to highlight it more than anything? Murders happens all the time in Texas, so I think this is also a part of it, because you hear the name Carmelo Anthony, automatically you're going to think the basketball player. So I think that's also a part of it as well too. All
And
right.
it's just to add real quick for our last point.
Mm-hmm.
I think there should be a lot more media presence. I don't know why there's not enough competition in media where I don't know what it takes to create a media channel, or you know what I mean, media presence for melanated people. I don't even know why BT don't even got that for melanated people. But anyway, BT ain't even run by black people. So that's neither here nor there. So my point is, why is there not a lot of whatchamacallit
Media.
yeah, but not like media like NBC, ABC, like um somebody's own media. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody could be media. Like we need more eyes on this, not just CNN and NBC and all these if they are reporting on it. I want to see a lot more different angles and a lot more different reporting so we could get a better sense of what is actually really going on, because if we're only getting biased reports from a biased news network, we're not going to get the full scale of it, because it's biased. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna filter the information and all that. I don't want filtered information. I want the real information. So the only way we're gonna get that is to wait till court, because if you lie in court, that's your ass. So you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get the real truth when court comes.
It's always been biased. Like just little tactics that the things that they say is a tactic. Like normally when you say someone's name, you humanize them. When you say Carmelo Anthony, you think of the kid that he is in the position that he's in, and that he is a possibility for him to walk away, and it's a possibility for him to go to jail. But if you say a kid murders another kid, then you don't humanize them. So that is a tactic, and they've been using these tactics way before we even understood what a tactic was. Watching programming, like I had an uncle that would always tell me, "Yo, turn off the damn program," and I'm like, "You mean the TV?" He like, "No, programming is programming you." And at the time when you were a little kid, at least for me, I didn't understand that, but it was programming us to what's, I can't never say that word unless I say it real slow. But it teaches us who to hate, who not to hate, who's a bad guy, what's a bad guy. It challenged our moral compass. That's why I love the '90s TV sitcoms, because there's always like a morals moment, and then they threw the music on top of that. Like you know what I'm talking about. Like the kid in school, and then there's always like the fast kid that's smoking cigarette. Like, yeah, come on, Thomas, come and smoke. And then they do like like they're paying the close up on the kid, and they throw the music like, you know what I'm saying? It's programming. So I never understood that until as I became, a later teenager and adult, when they take the programming and they use these tactics. So it is programming. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic: soft move or boss move. Bobby Brown was on the Club Shay Shay podcast recently, and he talked about once buying a store for a woman that was being mistreated by her boss, just so she could own the shop and become her former boss's boss. What do you think about that?
Is that business still running? Is it
I
still?
don't I don't know, but he said she was the owner for quite a while.
Then that's what's up. Then like gave her opportunity to level up. You know what I'm saying? Like as men do, because there's no way a woman would do that in reverse. So you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Men always gonna look out at the end of the day. Should he have done that? Mhm. I mean, he saw the situation and then saw that she needed that helping hand and looked out, like
Hmm.
most men do.
Hmm.
So shout out to Bobby Brown for seeing a situation, putting his money where it needed to be, and elevated this woman. It's unfortunate it can never be in reverse, because women don't have that kind of wherewithal at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that was a story that he could share with us and showcase another side of Bobby Brown. Shout out to him.
That's a fact. I honestly didn't think that that was a part of his story. So the fact that he was able to do that put her in position, and for her to be the boss, and hopefully she did a righteous job in being the owner, not just the boss, but being the owner, and being able to not just change her life but her family's trajectory. Speaks volume of Bobby Brown's, uh, like you said, wherewithal, but to his heart as well too, because most people won't have the energy to pull that trigger and be like, you know what, I ain't jacking your energy, bro. You know what, you're not as Johnny Blaze as you think you Johnny Blaze. If I can't get a plate, you know what I'm saying, I might just buy the place. You know what I'm saying? Like on Martin. So at the end of the day, he put her in position. So shout out again to Bobby Brown. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you go to bigbbravosection.com, bigbbravosection.com. If you're in the Miami area, you can book a session with one of the best photographers in the world. Again, it starts at bigbbravosection.com. If you're not in the area, still book that session. They're going to come out and take care of your session, but it starts at bigbbravosection.com. All right, you got petty thoughts, petty words for us?
So we're gonna go back to Black's Law Dictionary this week. And since everybody talking about tariffs, why not get the definition of tariff? Right? So the first word right now is tariff. So the definition is Black's Law Edition 6, the Black's Law 6th edition is the list or schedule of articles on which a duty is imposed upon their importation into the United States with the rates at which they are severely taxed. Also, the custom or duty payable on such articles 19 USCA and the derivatively the system of imposing duties or taxes on the importation of foreign merchandise. A series of schedules or rates of duties or taxes on imported goods. Tariffs are for revenue if their primary objects are fiscal, protective, if designed to relieve domestic business from effective foreign competition. I just read tariff and I still don't know what a tariff is. You know what I'm saying? Like just reading that definition, that just got more confusing because
Right,
that made
right.
no sense. But you know what I'm saying? That's the definition of tariff. So next word is embargo. So embargo is a proclamation or order of government, usually issued in time of war or threatened hostility, prohibiting the departure of ships or goods from some or all ports until further order. Government order prohibiting commercial trade with individual or businesses of other specified nations, legal prohibition on commerce, the temporary or permanent sequestration of property of individuals for the purpose of a government to obtain vessels for the transport of troops, the owners being reimbursed for the forced service. So in times of war, which we don't want, but in times of war, trust and believe the government is going to enforce their will upon you. If you have a strategic place or a strategic land that they need, they just gonna be like, yo, bro, we gonna take this land, we gonna use it, but we gonna compensate you for using this joint, but we gonna take it from you, but we gonna give you bread for it. So, and then if while we in war, if you even uh do business with people we at war with, that's a no bueno for you. You know what I'm saying? You added it.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful. All right, next word is militia. So militia is the body of citizens in a state enrolled for discipline as a military force, but not engaged in actual service except in emergencies as distinguished from regular troops or standing army. Militia. So that's very interesting because it's like who dictates who could be in the militia? Because the Second Amendment protects you to bear arms, but we know we in America because it's selective with the Second Amendment. You know what I'm saying? Because if you this, now all of a sudden we don't know if you could have a gun or not. You know what I'm saying? Very funny. But in the militia, it's part of it. So bearing arms is part of your God-given right at the end of the day. Last on this list is sanitary. That pertains to health with a special reference to cleanliness and freedom from infective and disastrous influences. So being sanitary is very important because it keeps you from being infected from certain diseases. So it's interesting that sanitary is also a legal word. So our words this week were tariff, embargo, militia, and sanitary. I think I'm gonna grab another definition of tariff because there's definition of tariff, but then there's different tiers of tariff.
Tariff. Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna next episode. I'm gonna grab another word for tariff because we gotta explore this word a lot more deeper. Because I just read that definition to y'all, and I think I gotta read it 3 more times because I still don't know what a tariff is. So You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get more words from tariff. I just feel we need to understand what tariff is, because all of a sudden, in my 40 years of life, I never heard of tariff until January. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely need to understand this word a lot more deeper. So I'm gonna grab more words with tariff. So again, our words this week were tariff, embargo, militia, and sanitary. So again, this section of Can the Brothers Get a Rap is very important, because we use words every day and don't even realize the words put us in a bind. Like my bro said, television program. They program in your mind through the words and through the TV. Words is everything. So if you have words that you want to know the legal definition of, because everything is legal, so we definitely want to understand the legal definition of these words that we use every day. So if you have any words that you definitely would want to know the definition of it, the legal definition, definitely put it on the chat, and I'll get you guys on the next episode.
We live in a world that we just use words randomly. Like, I won't be surprised in the next couple of years we get a new rapper call himself 57 Tariff. You know what I'm saying? Because he's from 57th Street, and he, instead of taxing people, we're like, yeah, I'm tariffing people. It's the new thing. Don't
I
even
buy his album.
definition. Huh?
I buy his album. It's on all streaming platforms.
All streaming platforms. Album.
Follow that 57 Tariff.
Or, you know what I'm saying? 57 Tariff. New album
You better
called
chill
Blue.
before he put an embargo on you.
That the album called Blue Militia. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and he keep his shit sanitary, baby. He clean with the raps. You know what I'm saying?
Real clean with the raps. You know what I mean?
Super clean. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. You know what I mean? So
shout out to 57 Tab. You won't be out in a couple of years. Don't even trip. You know what I'm saying?
And the reason why I say that is because we went through a period pre-existing us. Like, we grew up to an era where rappers was calling themselves the Lucchese's, the you know, all the
these goofy ass mafia shits that they don't fuck with us, but you gonna call yourself Irv Gotti. Like, get the fuck out of here, nigga.
Right.
You from Queens, my nigga. You
Like,
talking about some Gotti shit. Get out of here, dog.
You're not even
the commission.
Right.
Get out of here, son.
Right.
These people don't fuck with us. Did you not see The Godfather? Like, in the scene, the nigga, when they had the whole commission, when everybody came together and they finally decided, like, all right, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna sell heroin, but we're gonna sell in the black neighborhood.
Right.
What?
Right.
Get the fuck out of here, son.
So what made you watch that movie and be like,
oh yeah, I want to be Michael Corleone?
Yeah,
psych.
We the commission. You know what I'm saying? We the commission. Like what? Like what?
Or how about in Goodfellas when Samuel L. Jackson character, they made him seem like a buffoon. Remember they did the stick up?
Yeah.
And they told Buddy to get rid of the truck, but what he do? He got high and went home. Like, come on,
right,
man.
Right.
Making it seem like we inept.
Right.
Like, nah, I ain't with that.
Right. So it's just, like I said, we grew up to that era where all these guys is calling themselves things that they not even connected to. So I wouldn't be surprised in the next year to, you know what I'm saying, 57 Gotti out here with all the clean raps, you know what I'm saying, dropping hella bars, you know what I'm saying, with just the new.
Nah, he dropping mad embargo bars, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, it's crazy out here. Y'all crazy. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our Keep the Lie Live segment.
Keep the Lie Live.
Keep the Lie Live. So my Keep the Lie Live segment, I was going to go another place with this segment, but I want to do further more research. We've been talking about it all show long. So I'm going to save it for the next episode. But my other Keep the Lie Live is the NIL killing college football? Here's the age of spin that we're in. Because the players are now in control, they're saying that the NIL is killing college football. It is not. It is not. Shout out to Syracuse coach. The Syracuse head football coach, Fran Brown, says that his player, Trevor Pena, is going to enter the transfer portal. He had a great year, but he's not going to pay him $2 million. Only player that's worth $2 million, according to Fran Brown, is Jeremiah Smith, who's the superstar receiver on Ohio State. He said, unless Travis Hunter is granted another year of eligibility, which he does have another year of eligibility, and he's able to transfer to Syracuse, he's the only other player that I would be enlisting to pay $2 million to. Everybody else, no, it's not happening. So at the end of the day, we had another situation with another player from Tennessee with I'm gonna I'm gonna tell his name about number 8. I know I'm gonna ruin his name, but really good kid. He had a great year with Tennessee first year, and he's now transferred to UCLA. But he wanted a $2 million raise for his NIL deal. We spoke about it last episode. The school refused to do that, so he went to move on. So now the spin of the NIL deals is crushing college football. No, kids are exploring their options as they should. When a coach, when he takes a team that's not looked at to be a good team and they go undefeated or they have a really great year, that coach elevates. He always go to a better school that pays them more money and gives them more resources. Why can't kids exercise their option to doing the same thing? If there's another school out there that's going to pay them the money, now all of a sudden, well, you got to look at it like this, Ash. It might hinder their development. Uh, 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 each school may not love the kid the way that this school loved the kid. That could be true. That could be true, right? But again, if you have coaches knowing that only 2% of the college football players even make it to the NFL, why would a kid care about the development if at the end of the day, the margin is not going to make that much of a difference whether he goes to the lead or not, because it's not going to be predicated on the talent. It's predicated on the storyline. Even though kids have to be talented to make it to the NFL somewhat, but it all comes down to being available and having the right storyline. My bro just said they pick people for this. And that goes in sports, entertainment, and anything that we do. They pick people for this. It's not just based on talent, because every NFL player would tell you this. In their upbringing, they wasn't the best athlete in their neighborhood. It was another kid who jumped higher, who ran faster, who was naturally stronger, but he never did anything with it. He for some reason he stayed in the streets or whatever the case may be. So everything is not based on talent. And at that level, if most kids is not going to make it to the NFL, what is the difference from that kid not making it to the NFL but is in position to feed his family for the next decade? Which one is more important? Being able to feed his family for the near and the future, or in hopes of making it to the NFL to get one of those struggle contracts, to get to the big contract, yeah, you made it. Which one is more realistic? Which one could sustain you today and tomorrow if you get the proper education? How do you know that kid? So you mean to tell me if a kid goes from Stinson University, which is in Florida, but I guarantee you, y'all don't know what that's at. He transferred to FAMU, right there in Tallahassee. He has a good year over there. Now he transferred over to Central Florida. These are all different schools that have these are different levels. So you would think that at each level that you go to that's higher, they have more people that's more suited to give you game based on what you do with your money. So the fact that they trying to spin this as the NIL is killing college football, no, it's not. Kids are expressing their option. Now, some kids have no business doing this because they're not in the position to capitalize on going to another school. So they're going to lose their scholarship in the midst of that. But you have other kids who are in position and they need to exercise their options. What do you think about that, bro?
I feel it's cap because at the end of the day, they're upset because the field hands have power now. 20, 30 years ago, the field hand didn't have no power. Meaning that if you went to an Ohio State or you went to USC, Jim Tressel was That was it. You know what I'm saying? If you went to Alabama, it was Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was back then, or a Dabu Sweeney and this, that, and the third. But how's a Dabu Sweeney or Nick Saban going to correlate with somebody from the hood? They're only going there because they know if I go to Alabama, I'm gonna get out the hood and possibly make it to the NFL to help my family out this situation. Now that you start with the NIL deal and people getting the money right then and there, now it's not even about the school. It's not about no Dabu Sweeney. It ain't about no Nick Saban. Because of the field hand can transfer whenever he want now. Now it's really about the connection that you have with the coach. Can you really connect with this person? That's why I'm loving the fact that we got in the college level, we got Deion Sanders, we got Michael Vick, we got
Sean Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson, we got
Eddie George.
People that went to the league that look like me and you, that understand the struggle, understand where these kids is coming from. So now you getting a kid that got $2 million. Cool. But now you got a coach that understands this kid. So yeah, he could transfer, but because the coaching staff and everybody there has a catering notion around the student, he is likely to stay there more because of the staff. Now, if the staff ain't with it, I'm gonna take my $2 million and go somewhere else, and you can't do nothing about it. The only thing these good old boys can do is complain. Oh, the NIL deal is this, that, and the third. But meanwhile, y'all niggas are getting $100 million over 5 years, but the school is in the sundown town. Like, come on, son. Yeah, I'm going to Georgia, but there's hella sundown towns in Georgia. How am I supposed to navigate that? Nick Saban? How am I supposed to navigate that? Dabu Sweeney? Do you know how to do that? No. So Eddie George, you know what I'm saying? Deion Sanders is gonna put me on game, gonna school me past the game of football. Because football is just one aspect. Are you teaching me life skills past football? I highly doubt it. But now these kids have an opportunity to go somewhere where they feel that they're getting that extra tutelage, that extra knowledge that they really sorely need. And that's fair. I feel that's fair. If I'm not getting it from this school, I'm going somewhere else.
And let's keep it real, like, because me and you both played college football. And what most people don't realize, money is a factor. If I'm at one school and I have inside knowledge that if I go to this other school that I'm going to start and then I'm going to get paid more than I'm here, then of course I'm going to take up on that offer because this is something that's foregoing. But most kids just don't up and just get into the portal just because they getting beat out for position. If I'll stay at a school if I'm getting beat out at the moment, but I feel like I'm better and I'm gonna get the actual chance to get my spot. I'm gonna stay and compete.
That's if the coaching staff is making it fair,
right,
making everybody compete, and you're not picking and choosing.
Yes, because there's another factor that's important of this component is the camaraderie that you have with your team. And the biggest point that when guys that go to college and play football, that's the biggest thing that you take away from the game is your bros that you'd have made throughout your journey on your teams. So you think about that for a sec. You like, damn, I really like the energy. I really like the atmosphere. I'm not starting today, but Coach Grant told me, yo, if you put in the work, you could either get in rotation or at bare minimal that, you know what I'm saying, you won't be number one, but you could be number two in definite rotation. So you'll probably get about like 10 to 12 carries a game. And if you bust, it's going to pause. It's going to be 50-50 depending on the situation. So if you in that type of energy, that type of environment, you're not going nowhere because you're around your bros.
Right. It's really the team. Like when these kids leaving is because there's no team camaraderie. There's no love. There's no feeling that the team, not the team, but the coaching staff has that player's back. That's all these kids want to know is like, yo, you got my. I'll put the work and I'll bleed on practice. As long as you got my back, that's all we want to know. If the kid don't got that reassurance, they up out of it.
Yeah, facts. And I don't think it has anything to do with necessarily am I going to get the opportunity to play? Because if you put the work in and the coach tell you like, yo, you put the work in, you're going to get on the field. But if they're going to be honest with you, regardless if it's something that you want to hear or not, because most kids know if they're better than the next person. If I know this back is better than me and I just want to get in rotation and I do the work, I'm cool with that. I'm going to strive to be better than him. But if he's better than me, that don't make sense for me to transfer. And like, so I'm not going to go from example. I'm not going to go from Nebraska to McNeese State just because I'm gonna start at McNeese State. I'd rather be in rotation at Nebraska than to be the starter going crazy at McNeese State because I'm doing that at the highest level and I'm around my bros, the blood, sweat, and tears, the energy, the jokes that we done built in the locker room and in the dorms, us, chasing women, us, fighting and all types of stuff that build that camaraderie with teams. So when they talk about the NIL, everybody's not getting NIL money. So there's no way that everybody's transferred for NIL deal. That's just a cop out. So, at the end of the day, I wish they start spending that narrative. We're in a space where this is the beginning of it. So you're gonna see a lot less kids transferring 3-4 years from now when they start understanding the value even more. They're like, you know what, I really need to stick around, develop my skills, and if as a team and as the coach, and if I don't get that reassurance, if I don't feel like I'm a brother here, then yeah, then I'm gonna express my options at other places, and it has to be a lateral move. It can't be like, yo, I didn't hit the dun button. So and they keep spinning that narrative. So, anything else you want to add to that, bro?
Now, shout out to the field hands. Do what y'all gotta do to get to a program that values your talent.
Hmm.
Same, yeah. Just make the best choice for you, and hopefully the coaching staff is behind you all the way.
And one thing I will say about the NIL, what it's done is highlighted talented players. So because players are leaving, as a coach, you're forced to play your best players. College football wasn't built on your best players always playing. It was never built that way. It was always built on hoarding talent. We talk about it in past episodes. Y'all would not believe me if I told you that there was a team at one point in time where your running backs was Jared Payton, Clinton Portis, Frank Gore, and oh my God, and there was another back who was
Willis
super
McGahee.
Willis McGahee, bro. And would you know that Frank Gore wasn't the starter out of all four of those guys? Because all four of those guys is nice, but he was not the starter. There's no planet where Frank Gore's not the starter out that group, and that's a nice group. That's an elite group. But Frank Gore is one of the leading rushers in NFL history, and he's not the starter. And they said when he got on campus, he was the best back that we had. But we gotta play all of them. Like they hoarding talent. So because of the NIL deal, guys are going to where they feel like they're gonna play for real. Is why you're forced to play the talent. Miami used to have guys that never started a game get drafted in the second and third round. They got drafted off of practice. Michigan, USC, Alabama. If you do the history, all these schools had guys get drafted by being rotational players because they hoard talent. It wasn't always about talent. The best players never always used to play. It was about playing guys in the right spot. Same thing with Clemson. It's crazy we bring up Clemson. Clemson got on the map. It wasn't because of Dabo Sweeney. It was because of a guy named Woodrow Dantzler. Woodrow Dantzler played at a time, at the same time with Michael Vick. He was a little smaller, but he was spectacular, jumping over people, playing quarterback, wearing number one, going crazy. And the coach was like, yo, you know what? I could go to Clemson and get busy at Clemson. Not because of Dabo Sweeney, he's there and he's a good coach. Come on, man, get out of here. So the NIL, keep it up. I love it. They're going to find a happy medium with this, and it's not killing the sport. It's taking the sport to different places that it's never gone before, and most importantly, It's having direct effect for the kids that need it, that are uberly talented, and that could walk out of high school into college into a seven-figure deal and help out their family. There's
Facts.
nothing more important than that. Y'all, that's been our episode. Thank y'all for tapping in. Y'all been amazing. This is our 151 episode. So again, thank y'all for y'all support. Again, I want to thank some of the sponsors of the show: Bravo Section, Button Snaps, OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit me up on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild, or you can hit my bro on his Instagram at
Bravo section _.
So if you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, hit us up on Instagram. Again, I want to thank y'all for tapping in. Tap into the membership portion of the page. Different memberships, different access. We got over 350 rewatches of this podcast on this channel. So go watch them, go comment, have some fun with it and share. Don't be afraid to share. Hit that all notification bell. You just never know when we'll pop up. So again, continue to show us that love. We're on the road to 20,000 subs. We're a little over 11,000. So again, continue to like and subscribe. Also, thank you to the presenting sponsor of this show, of this podcast, which Button Snaps, button-snaps.com, button-snaps.com. Again, where you get to find us some movies, show, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Don't forget to check into the merchandise in the links in the bio as well. So make sure y'all tap in. New EP on the way. My new EP is on the way. Winners Loyalty coming out May 26th. Winners Loyalty coming out May 26th. So be on the lookout for my new EP. In the between time, on all music platforms, type in Ashley Lovechild. I got fire music. I'm being humble when I say that. So tap in. I appreciate your support and continue to support. I know I broke out his website.
Definitely tap into bigbravosection.com. I got some merch on the way. Still working on it, but best believe got some merch on the way. But definitely tap into bigbravosection.com.
Again, make sure y'all tap in. Thank y'all for tapping in every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30. Our podcast is on every Sunday, every Thursday at 10:30. Thank y'all again. We'll see y'all this Sunday at 10:30. Santana, don't forget, bro. You got the juice now, man. You already know what time it is.
I'm
It's
gonna
love.
mix it up too.
Tell Blizzard I said what up. And we got
You sure you want a piece of this?
get up out of here, y'all.
Yo, Sunday, y'all. Y'all say for Blizzard.